Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Ohio State football closed day 2 of practice this morning. Buckeyes practice Saturday, and the last one open to fans starting at 9 a.m. Preseason honors continued for the Buckeyes, whose quarterback Julian Sand and wideout Jeremiah Smith were named preseason first-team All-Americans, while offensive lineman Austin Sareveld was second team by the Sporting News. Baseball, Reds visit the Nationals at 6:45. Cincinnati's won 4 straight to sit just 4 games back of the NL wild card. Guardians travel to the White Sox at 7:40. Chicago leads Cleveland and Minnesota by 3 games for first in the AL Central. And in soccer, the Crew hosts Pachuca tonight at 7:30 in its second of 3 Leagues Cup group stage matches. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Take a vacation from high interest rates with special rates on balance transfers at BMI Federal Credit Union, bmifcu.org/visa. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
So where's the office, back at Division? Yeah, in the office, baby. Going out.
And here we go. Welcome back in, folks, to another edition of Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice. TLC's in the building doing his thing per usual to my right today. Ladies and gentlemen, I got a former Buckeye and a national champ, Olentangy's own, in the house, Joshua Perry. JP, welcome back, man. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Glad to be back. I figured out the way that things work around here.
Okay, talk to me.
Where you guys end up getting a lot of breaking news at times, right? Like you'll get some of the fun stories that are coming out middle of the day. Nobody else has had a chance to get into them. But you don't get to be out there in the place watching the guys run around.
I got to be honest.
Yeah.
Watching Uncle Bo and Reeser and the boys. And by the way, shout out to our squad, the team that went out there the last couple of days. I know we'll have some more coverage for you guys tomorrow, so make sure you tune into The Fan for that. But what I've seen the last couple of days it's been really cool. And I feel like I'm missing out. Yeah. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah.
I'm a little jealous just seeing the vibe over there, guys getting after it at practice. James Smith joined Bo and Reeser about roughly a half hour ago. Incredible stuff right there.
Heard it was good.
Absolutely hilarious stuff from him. He told a story about how his dad is from the Cleveland area. I believe both his mom and his dad are from the Cleveland area. And obviously James was down there in Tuscaloosa suiting up for them. He told Bo and E that his dad was in the stands at Bama home games wearing an Ohio State hat. It was awesome. So Baker's going to cut that out. We're going to bring that to you guys at some point in time.
Insane.
But think about what that takes to do that in that type of environment. But
it takes being a dude from Cleveland. That's all it takes.
When it's your son, who cares? Who cares? So, yeah, great work from everybody over there. Really appreciate all the efforts that happened, getting us all the sound. Tyler Danberg, just everybody. Thank you so much for what you guys have done. Here's our lineup for today. 12:30, Max Chadwick covers college football for the Preferred Walk-On podcast. Will join us. 1:30, Brendan Deeg. We'll talk all things NFL with him. And then J-Lou, 2:30, it's a Friday. Guardians locking in with the White Sox this weekend for a fun series. And then the Reds coming off a sweep. That's going to be fun to get into that with him. That happens at 2:30. You miss any of this stuff, don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. Just type in Rothman and Ice, everything we do from noon to 3. We'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the podcast as well. What's up, JP?
So I got to tell you, I know how y'all like to do on Fridays.
Okay.
Training Day.
Yeah.
I have not seen that movie from start to finish.
I think you should lock in.
I've never finished. I've started the movie many times. I've never finished it.
I think you would thoroughly enjoy how everything kind of reveals itself and unfolds. And,
yeah.
You know, you've heard the famous line. I'm putting cases. Yeah.
Of course.
I need you to see all of that in its entirety. TLC, have you watched Training Day from start to finish?
Of course not.
Of course not.
You might be worse than me because I
am worse than you.
I haven't seen many of the movies. Like Rothman loves doing the references.
He's the best at
it. And I like to try to play along when I'm listening in the car.
We can go bar for bar on movies we haven't seen.
Oh, it's bad.
I'll beat you.
You might, but I'm pretty bad.
Godfather, haven't seen it.
Oh, I watched that for the first time this year.
Did it move you?
Okay, so I have like 5 more years.
Yeah, you got a little time.
I got 5 years before I hit my expiration date.
I'm glad that you guys have just joined this party, though, because I've been disappointing AR for years and years now. When he looks at me in my eyes, please tell me you know this movie. And I'm like, no, I haven't seen it.
The drop-off in co-hosts from Bobby Carpenter to you in movie knowledge has to kill Rothman.
Which is insane. Like, this, I feel like this is a bad season of life to try to get into watching movies because, you know, between work and then children and everything.
Yeah, you're cooked now.
But
your schedule.
Bobby's got 4 of them things.
Yeah.
I don't know how he has time to watch a movie.
The way I understand it is he's got like a pocket of time late in the night, right? Maybe it's 11, midnight, whatever it is.
He doesn't sleep.
He'll get a glass of wine. He'll go down there, watch a movie, TV show. And I think he has his time to himself. That's my understanding. Maybe down there in the man cave, whatever it is.
Good for him.
Yeah, he'll get to it,
I like
man.
to close my eyes.
Get a nap in.
That's
with
it.
Jeans on.
Oh, dude, I did it yesterday.
Just kick your feet up.
Yep,
Yeah.
on the couch. Yep.
Napping jeans.
Got the blanket.
Napping jeans.
Napping jeans.
Are they leaning more like a legging, sweatpants type of material, or just a straight denim?
It's denim. And I was knocked out. Got a quick 30 minutes in before it got loud again. I was good.
So let me ask you this. Let's say it's like a random Saturday and you're just at the crib kicking it, right? And you think to yourself, this is a good time for a nap. And you're like, all right, maybe you just have shorts on at the time. You're going to get the napping jeans before you take the nap. Is that how dedicated you are to these napping jeans?
It depends, right? Because I'm very dedicated. Sometimes the nap just hits you.
Yeah.
You don't have time to really prepare.
You just got to let it take over.
Now, if I have time to prepare,
Going to get them jeans.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Did anything that happened at the Hall of Fame game last night move you at all, or / you think is realistic that could happen in season?
I don't know if I was moved. I don't know what's realistic. I thought Carson Beck looked as good as he's looked in a couple years throwing the football. And there was a reason why when he was at Georgia the year before the million interception year, people were like, this guy could be a first-round pick, right? Taller guy, from all accounts, pretty smart quarterback, used to protect the football until he turned it over a bunch. He did at Miami last year. He was pretty good about not putting his offense in terrible situations. Like, maybe he can spin it a little bit. Maybe he's back. Who knows?
Yeah, and I think the opportunity for him this year is like, I'm putting in all the work behind the scenes, right, to show that, hey, if Jacoby Brissett's gone next year, give me the steering wheel. Give me the steering wheel, because I think you brought up a good point. How he was talked about, but not even just talked about, he had earned it at that point with his play was, man, this guy might be the 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, we're
next
talking
year.
about Heisman Trophy potential, the whole deal. Then some things happened.
Correct.
Looked like a different player.
Yeah. Then he got off the mat.
Yeah.
Played in the national championship game. Obviously didn't win that one, but he's not one of those rookie quarterbacks that's now looking around like, man, I got a vet in front of me that's got another 5 to 7 years of play. He may be in a situation where next year he's going to have a chance to hit the ground running. I don't like to get carried away too much with any of that.
I don't either.
I think you can look at some things. Like, I think the touchdown that he threw, tightish coverage, like that's what you want to see,
No, it
right?
was
Like
good.
that over the shoulder throw, like that's legit.
It was a good fade ball. Like, you want to see it. The mechanics and the operation, like drop back, hit your back foot, throw it. Like, I like what I saw. I don't want to get carried away, but it was solid.
On the Carolina side, just Kenny Pickett, I saw a picture of them standing Bryce Young next to each other after the game, and just every time I see Bryce Young, I'm just like, how is that a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Kenny Pickett's not like the biggest dude.
Nah,
that's
Bryce
the crazy
is just
part.
tiny, man.
he's a
But
little
look,
dude.
he made it happen last year. Played well, I thought, in that playoff game against the
I
Rams.
agree.
We'll see. They got a bunch of injuries going on. We'll see what can happen in the NFC South. I got a question for you, sir. If you were a linebacker right now, starting linebacker for Robert Morris, and you're hearing all this chatter out there about how Akron is planning on, you know, allowing just a season ticket holder to come in and call plays for the first drive.
Yep.
How's that landing for Joshua Perry?
Blitz zero every play. I'm all out pressure. I bring the house. I'm telling you right now, no deep. I want the safeties heels at 7 yards. I want the linebackers crowding the line of scrimmage. And I'm telling you right now, run through anything with air, run through any gap, and hit the quarterback right in the face.
So this would be pissing you off.
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Because we've been talking about that, how if you're everybody but Robert Morris, you can look at this like, oh, this is cute, it's fun, it's a one-off, whatever. If you're Robert Morris, this is insulting.
I'm dialing it up all day too. I don't care once you get off your little script. Like, I hope you had your 10 best plays ready, because I'm heating you up all day.
There's been a lot of talk on our show this week about bulletin board material.
Sure.
and how that shows itself, how that can help out a team or a player throughout the week. Was there anything from your past that you remember hearing? Maybe it wasn't directly about Joshua Perry, but it was about one of your teammates or the team that was bulletin board material that you used to get you ready for a game.
So I'll give you two things. So if you remember back to my recruiting class of 2012, we had a guy from Cleveland area who was committed, 5-star tackle, Kyle Kalis. And when Tress resigned, he flipped to Michigan. And the quote that he gave was that there would be blood on the field. And I took that a little bit personally. I know some other guys in my class did. And it's not like you need any extra motivation, but when you also see that guy lined up on the field, you're like, we gotta make sure we do this. And he played there for 5 years and went 0 for 5. And then I actually played with him on the Colts. Great dude. But I had to remind him
that stuck with you.
Yeah. Like I never forgot that he said that. People were pretty good about not giving us bulletin board material, but Urban would create fake quotes of things that people said.
Okay.
And there was one point where game broadcast crew comes in, they do the meetings, production meetings with the coaches and everything, and we bring a couple of players to talk about them, game plan and whatnot. And I can't remember what crew it was, but like none of the players wanted to talk to the crew because Urban said that they had said some things about us on a broadcast or something that didn't actually happen. And like, I love it. We were petty, but that's like also the pettiest coaching in the world where you're like, well, they won't say it, so I'm going to tell people that they did. Yeah.
Similar. I think we heard a similar thing from Michael Jordan in The Last Dance.
Oh, yeah.
Like he'd look in the stands for somebody, and if somebody made eye contact with him, like he would think that dude, was talking trash or whatever. Just making up stuff to get you going. And I think sometimes you have to have that. Because I think you brought up an interesting angle. Because you guys, playing at a program like this, you're not going to hear a ton of criticism, right? There'll be certain things that pop up, but more times than not, it's, hey, you guys are ballers, you guys are doing this, you're doing that. It's a lot of things about how great you guys are, but that is interesting because I think you do have to find ways as a coach to be creative when it comes to motivation, especially this time of year where you guys are grinding, a couple times a day or whatever it may look like. You got to have that as a coach, man.
We got in trouble with that one time, though, because it was I think it was Evan Spencer, and there was a question about Florida State. If you faced them, what would happen? He was like, we'd wipe the floor with those guys. And Evan was great. He was, like great leader for us, hard worker, super smart guy, too. Mm-hmm. Wasn't allowed to talk to the media anymore. Urban was like, you sit your ass in that corner right there. Anytime the people with the microphones come around, you are done.
One and done. That was it. That's all he did. Good stuff. Hey, coming up next, we will hit you with some of the latest practice nuggets that came out of the Woody today about some guys that are popping off. And then you will also hear from Matt Patricia on how he is replacing all the talent that went to the NFL. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Common Man here for my friends at Care Heating and Cooling. Summertime napping season is upon us. What's that mean? Well, that means for me, a little nap on the leather couch. I got the ceiling fan on, but if that AC's not working properly, that nap turns into crap. Am I right? You got to make sure that AC's in tip-top shape, and the only people to call are my friends at Care Heating and Cooling. The message on their homepage says, we care about your comfort, because they do. If you're not comfortable in your own home, they start to get itchy and scratchy. Here's what you need to know about my friends at Care. They've won the Lennox Centurion Award for 17 years in a row. Now, if you're not in the biz, you don't know what that is, but I'm going to tell you, it's given to the top 5% of Lennox dealers in the country each year. Their service techs are the best in the business, and there's not a problem they can't solve, except maybe the meaning of life. They had no answer when I asked them. But think about living without central AC. Mess you up. My friends at Care also have easy online scheduling. CareHeatingandCooling.com. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Hey there, Bo Bishop here. Tired of the same old routine? It's time to escape with an RV from RCD RV. Motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, they've got them all. Shop hundreds of RVs in stock today. 3 locations in Central Ohio to serve you, or online anytime at rcdrv.com.
At Wright Pat Credit Union, we are owned by our members, not shareholders. So our only bottom line is you.
What's the catch?
There isn't one. I mean, I guess you have to be a member.
Uh-huh. And what's that cost?
Oh, There's no monthly cost.
But there's a bunch of eligibility restrictions, right?
No. If you live here, you can bank here.
No catch. What is this?
It's banking done right. Right Pat Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
How many of you have had your garage floor done? I'll wait for the answer. Yeah, that's enough. How many of you think it looks like crap? That's because it is crap. One quick call to Comer & Cross Concrete Floor Coatings at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, and they can install a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor in one day. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It's like pulling into a new car showroom every night. And here's the best part. It is guaranteed your garage floor will never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And listen, you lazy bum, they'll even take the stuff out of the garage for you. They're all certified uniform pros. No subcontractors at Comer & Cross. This is a premier product with premier results, and they hired a premier endorser to tell you about it. For your quick and easy Comer & Cross garage floor quote, call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR now. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to comercross.com, C-O-M-E-R cross.com.
It's 2026, the year you achieve your health goals. The Good Feet store wants to help. Trade in your bad feet for good feet. We want to help you walk, run, exercise, and play in comfort this year. Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City.
The Ohio State Fair has more of the fair you love.
It's the best day together with more to do. Bring the whole crew for the classics you love. Plus, even more to explore, taste, and experience with brand new buildings, attractions, and more.
More of the fair you love. The Ohio State Fair, July 29th through August 9th, 2026.
Plan your day and get tickets at ohiostatefair.com.
What defines Ohio? A place that dares to go first and never looks back. There's no slowing us down. At Jobs Ohio, our mission is clear. Strengthen job opportunities and empower Ohio's workforce. Another reason why Ohio is now ranked the #1 state for business by CNBC. This is what unstoppable feels like. We did it together, Ohio. Our time is now. See Ohio's momentum at jobsohio.com/Ohio's time.
Join our degenerate gambler Steve Biddle at Scotty Vegas every Sunday morning at 9 for On the Money.
Presented by Krieger Ford, your best bet for a new car or truck. Visit Krieger Ford on Morse Road today or go online at KriegerFord.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Happy Friday. Highs today right around the mid-80s. Feeling a little bit warmer, though, with the combination of all that humidity out there. It's a little muggy as you step out the door. Friday afternoon into the evening hours, isolated showers and storms return back into our forecast, and that's going to get you through the rest of your Friday. I'm your 10 Weather Impact meteorologist, Lily Aldrich, with 97.1 The Fan.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Anthony's hidden talent is weaving a movie quote into every conversation. It's mostly not annoying. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Happy Friday to you. Joshua Perry in the house today. Practice is popping off, JP. It's time to get to work, or they're already getting to work. One name that popped up today on social media a few times for me was wide receiver Devin McEwen, JP. Seeing a lot of his name this morning.
Are you taking the top off of defenses? I mean,
seeing that, man, it sounds like, and this, look, you just never know, so don't want to get too carried away. But the first unit when it comes to wide receivers that was out there was Jeremiah, obviously, Brandon Ennis, and then Devin McEwen. Mm-hmm. And so this is a guy that transferred in from UTSA.
Yes.
He comes in with experience.
You ever watch any of his tape?
I did, and it's...
I caught a couple of their games last year, like midweek. And watching him, like, he was definitely popping off the tape.
8 touchdowns last year for them. And so now for him, he comes into a situation with a deadly accurate quarterback, the best playmaker in the sport, and Jeremiah Smith. And he has to be loving the opportunities that potentially are going to be there. So, JP, I know that's been one of the questions this offseason is how the wide receiver room is going to come into form, right? Opposite number 4. And it sounds like today that at least Devin McEwen and Brandon Ennis were out there, and that was your starting trio of wide receivers with the ones.
So to the point about McEwen and why I was excited when they got him out of the portal, if you listen to the wide receivers talk about some of the initial feedback they got from Cortez Hankton when he came in, one of the things that they pointed out was that they were not a great group in terms of yards after catch. They just weren't producing. And you've got a guy, to me, McEwen, who's got the speed to just flat out take the top off the defense, which I think is a good compliment to a lot of the other things that Jeremiah can do. Big body, kind of catching in the intermediate, some of the underneath stuff that they can do with him. But then a guy, again, where you put the ball in his hands and he gets a step on somebody and you're looking at 15, 20-yard gain after the catch. That to me is a difference maker for an offense that was very methodical last year and was very efficient, but maybe lacked some of the explosive plays that you want to see thrown into the middle of the drive.
I've been asking the question over the last week, who is going to come in and step into the role that Carnell Tate played a year ago, the big-time playmaker? Obviously, Carnell had a lot of other things in his bag that he could go to, but the ability to get over the top of the defense, catch those 50-50 balls, maybe that's going to be McEwen this year. Maybe it'll be Brandon Ennis, Chris Henry, those guys, Boyd. All those guys are going to be in the mix, but that was the latest when it came to the wide receivers today. Real quick, slipperiest playmaker that you played against as far as tough to tackle, because you touched on Yak. College, in the league, a guy you're like, man, this dude he's hard to tackle.
That is a super tough question. Man. So here's one that's a little bit, and unfortunately, because he was a good player, I can't remember a guy's name, but it was a running back that Indiana had circa 2014.
Tevin Coleman?
So I don't know if it was Tevin or if it was his backup, but one of those guys was super shifty and just could make you miss. Just if he got a little bit of space in the field, you were making sure that you had a good angle so you could line him up.
Yeah, they definitely had a duo.
They did.
And Tevin Coleman, if I remember, he was more of the physical kind of maybe goal line, goal line type of guy. But the other guy too, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
He was
either.
a good player though.
I'm sure TLC.
Stephen Houston.
No, I don't think it was.
I don't know.
Who knows?
But either
shout out to my guy.
He was an Indiana running back. Shout out to him. Let's talk about this
D'Angelo
defense.
Roberts.
That's not ringing a bell either.
No, this is a shame, really.
Well,
I've had concussions. Y'all have not, so this is more on you than me.
It's your life. You lived it, man.
I don't know if that's true. Can't recall.
Right. Matt Patricia, this defense.
Yes.
Got a lot to figure out, but have to imagine Buckeye fans are confident in him based off of what he was able to provide along with the players last year right out of the gate. In game number one, you could feel, right, that this defense was going to have a presence. Here's Coach Patricia on losing the Sonny Styles of the world, the Alvaro Reeses of the world to the NFL and a lot more.
I never say you replace, right? Because I don't think you ever replace anybody. But I think we just got to understand next man up, and opportunity is there. And the group has done an unbelievable job from winter to spring ball to summer to now we're finally here in training camp where we get to kind of get after a little bit and, set the standard for this year. It'll be this year's defense and these guys going out doing what they can to help us to win. And that's the fun part. It's really cool. So I'm excited. I'm excited for these guys.
JP, when you got to that point to where Urban and the coaching staff said, hey, you're our guy. We're rolling with you as one of our number one linebackers. What do you remember about what was one of the more challenging things for you when your number was called to be a dude?
I think it's the day-to-day consistency. The reason why a lot of times a player at Ohio State isn't the guy isn't because he's just flat out not good enough, is that he's not good enough every single down. Yeah. You'll see flashes, you'll see spots of greatness, but it's not on a down-to-down basis. And so when you get tapped and it's your time to be a guy at Ohio State, it's the film room, dialing in, locking in there. It's the training room. It's training table. It's the weight room. And then out on the field, I was out there yesterday and I talked to some of the coaches afterwards, and they were basically like, our starters got 16 game reps, what they would call game reps. So things outside of individual drills or partial group drills and teach periods, like live reps, 16 of them. And to maximize each one of those, I think is the most challenging thing when you first become a starter at a place like Ohio State. So I think they're trying to look for guys who are building consistency into their game. And in particular on defense, I think they're trying to figure out what those guys do well that might be different from what they did a year ago. Because when you look at the defense from last year, Caleb could do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Sonny could do a lot of things. Arvell could do a lot of things. Those guys ain't there.
Right.
And so now you're working with different type of personnel that maybe has different skill sets, maybe from a number one defense to the 1B defense, right? Maybe the backups have a little bit of a different skill set. And so that's going to really inform what this defense is right now, is figuring out what all those guys do well and how it works well together.
We were talking about Devin McEwen, right? And him coming in with experience. I think that was a point of emphasis for Coach Day and the defense with the guys that they wanted out of the portal, right? Earl Little, Jake Smith, Roos, like all these guys that have now entered into the Buckeye world for this season coming from other programs are guys that have played a lot in their careers. And I think that can help some of the transitions when you do lose a lot, guys that have had a lot of time on task elsewhere.
It helps a ton in terms of feeling confident that your guys will be ready for games. I think one of the more interesting challenges is those guys all played a ton, but they played a ton in other places. Right. And they're coming from a bunch of different places, and they have to do it the Buckeye way now. And maybe in that room, defense in particular, you don't have Sonny Styles, who grew up here and developed through this program, who's setting the tone. And so I think there's probably even a feeling out process coming out onto the field for some of those guys where it's like, you know, I see myself as a leader. I know I'm going to be one of the best guys, but like I have to be deferential in certain ways because I've never done camp here before.
Yeah.
And it's the way of the world right now. And thank God Ohio State has guys who have been in the league as coaches, because they experienced that in the offseason as well. That's a different challenge than what you used to see in college football.
Real quick, you brought up Sonny a couple times. He's rocking that 52 out there in Washington, and I was just like, yeah.
It looks like a
just looks the part, man. It just looks the part.
Have you seen some of the practice clips?
Yeah.
Smacking dudes. Smacking them.
Looks like a vet already.
He does.
Already. So nobody's going to be surprised if he's right there in the Defensive Rookie of the Year conversation. Real quick, I'm always fascinated, JP, about like the practices with so much talent at programs like this, like the good on good term that we hear a lot. Here's Coach Patricia talking about the defense being tested by the weapons on offense over there.
Yeah, I love it, and Arthur and I have been talking a lot about that too, and that's been really fun for me to have him, and as we talk through the college game and how to play the game, you know, what that's going to look like this year as opposed to what it looked like last year. To that point, you know, for me, it's going to start always up front, so being able to have that offensive line come back and those guys up front on the O-line that we have to go against, that's going to be great for us from, you know, playing physical and playing, you know, violent up front in the run game and the pass rush. And then certainly with Julian back there, who's unbelievable. I mean, he's such a great, obviously, quarterback, but a great guy, a great student of the game. And he and I got to spend some time this spring, you know, just watching defense. And, you know, he's such a curious learner. It was really cool for us to spend that time. So I've enjoyed really watching his maturation. I mean, I threw a lot at him in training camp last year. So, you know, every day we'd come out here and Sonny and I would be laughing and he's like, what do you have today? You know, it's like, is this 5 down, 6 up, 7? I'm like, we're just going to drop 11. You figure it out.
You figured out, kid.
Yeah, we're going to go. So this year he's more on it. He's kind of busting my chops here a little bit. So,
tell you this, every time I hear him speak, it just seems like this dude is in a great headspace here in Columbus and just loving the gig.
I talked to him yesterday and he smiled from the time like he walked onto the field to start practice, walked off the field with a smile, met with us, which like I know those guys probably don't love meeting with the media a ton.
Sure.
Had a smile on his face, was very gracious and like answered. I was, you know, I was kind of peppering him with a couple of questions. He just like was happy to talk ball. And I think it is such an amazing thing. That vibe is so important. There's nothing worse than when your coach has a terrible look on his face and you're like, damn, this is day one of camp. We got 24 more of these. Terrible.
And you're already a Debbie Downer.
Yep.
He's the opposite of that, man.
Awesome.
So you get that type of energy from a player's perspective, which you mentioned that you love, but then it's also just the evil genius in a good way, right? Defensively with what he can do, and I'm sure he's excited about all the new pieces coming in. And I liked what I heard about the vet O-line versus vet D-line. That's got to be fun, right? With the guys that came in that are vets going up against the guys that are coming back on that O-line. The trench play is probably fun to watch right now over there at the Woody. Coming up in 2 minutes, Max Chadwick covers college football over at the Preferred Walk-On podcast. Will join us to talk Ohio State and a lot more. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
What can ADP do for small business? We help answer the business questions, like how do you track employee time? How do you do payroll taxes? Or what does compliance even mean? So small businesses can focus on bigger questions. Now florists can ask, can we invent another holiday to sell bouquets? Pizza shops can ask, how do we stuff a calzone into a pizza crust? first. And pool cleaners can ask, what is that thing in the filter? These are the questions you can focus on when ADP takes care of the business of your small business. ADP for small business.
On this episode of Science Stuff, we're examining the fastest things on the planet, like the cheetah. It can reach a land speed of over... probably having an off day happens to everybody, but here is the American race car. People love the thrill of the... Okay. Next up is the Falcon. Oh, all right. Oh, Great Caesar's ghost, what was that? Why, I think we've found the fastest... Let's watch in slow motion.
Hi, it's Alex, the friendly Apex...
It's Apex Pros, the pros who knows. They're the fastest thing on the planet. When you have a problem with your plumbing, furnace, air conditioner, or electrical system, Apex Pros gets to you faster than apparently everything. Leaves are blown from trees. Paint is stripped from buildings. Mothers clutch their children's hands. Because when you have something broken in your plumbing, HVAC, or electrical, you don't want to wait.
Columbus loves Apex Pros. ApexPros.com.
Getting a speeding ticket can ruin your day. But what about that cyclist? Or the pedestrian crossing the street? If you hit them while speeding, you'll do more than just ruin their days. That's why tickets are more than just a fine. They're a second chance. A reminder of what's on the line when you're behind the wheel. You won't get a do-over every time. So take this as your sign to follow the speed limit every drive. Speeding slows you down. Paid for by NHTSA.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
I'll tell you what, man, you're listening to Rothman and Ice on 97.1 The Fan. Give me a little Spider 2Y banana. Bring it in here, guys, man.
I got you, Coach. I got you. We're going to light up right now the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline and bring on Max Chadwick. Does an awesome job covering college football over at the Preferred Walk-On podcast. Max, welcome in. Happy Friday. How you feeling, man?
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Appreciate your time. So we've been unpacking a lot of the news coming out of Ohio State the last couple of days with practices getting going. In your mind, what is the biggest question you have about the 2026 Ohio State Buckeye football team?
Yeah, I think one question I might have is obviously looking at that offense and Arthur Smith as the new offensive coordinator and just how much he's going to try and change to fit his system. I am excited to see it, though, because I think there's a lot of talent on that offense and maybe the offensive line could be even better with Arthur Smith calling the shots, too. Really, personnel-wise, the one big question I have right now for Ohio State is in their front seven after losing so many superstars to the NFL draft. So that defensive line, I like some of the pieces on that D-line, like Kenyatta Jackson specifically, but that D-line and that linebacker unit, I think I have a little bit of question marks right now with so many guys leaving.
No, it certainly does feel like there are some questions, but Ohio State, to me at least, is getting the benefit of the doubt. The coaches poll came out. They were number one in that poll. Do you think that was the right preseason ranking for the Buckeyes?
Probably not, but they're very close. I think they're certainly a top 5 team in the country. I don't have them no lower than top 5, but I wouldn't say they're the best team in the country right now. Like, to me, I think there's 2 teams at the top of the sport that I really think maybe deserve that number 1 ranking in Oregon and Texas. Maybe you could throw Indiana in that mix too, but I probably have Ohio State after those 3 schools right there.
So let's stay in the Big Ten here. I want to get your thoughts on how big of a deal these defensive line additions are for Indiana, because that's been floating around this week with Daly coming back, and now it looks like Wyatt will be back for them as well. So when you look at those 2 players being added to what Indiana is on paper right now defensively, how big of a deal is this in your mind?
Huge, really. I think Indiana's defensive line was one of my only question marks I had with that roster, and getting Stephen Daly back especially, that's a massive addition. Like, he was a really good player for them last year, and that's really going to help out. I had some question marks with their edge room, but now with Stephen Daly back, that really eases that. So, yeah, I think Indiana's got a great shot. Obviously, they lost a lot of talent, namely Fernando Mendoza, so Josh Hoover's got big shoes to fill this year, but I have a lot of faith in Chris Ignetti and his staff that Indiana's going to be once again a top 5 team in the country this year.
When you look at the Big Ten as a whole, one of the conversations that was going on for a lot of the offseason was we know the top of the conference is really good, but kind of that middle tier and the bottom is lagging behind what the SEC is doing. When you start to look at teams like, Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota, throw Washington in there, Wisconsin, do you expect those teams to take a step from where they were a year ago?
It'll be interesting. I think that is a fair argument for the SEC is that, hey, yeah, the top of the Big Ten is as good, if not better, than the top of our conference right now, as evidenced by, 3 different Big Ten schools winning the last 3 national championships. But I think there is a good argument that, hey, the depth of the SEC is probably a little bit better than the depth of the Big Ten right now, whereas the SEC has, 8 or 9 schools, maybe in the top 20 or top 25. Big Ten probably only has like 5 or 6, maybe, right? So I think it's very close, obviously, but I do think the depth of the SEC is a little bit better than the depth of the Big Ten right now.
Max Chadwick from the Preferred Walk-On Podcast joining us here on Rothman and Ice. Max, I want to ask you this question about Dylan Stewart and Colin Simmons. When you look at these guys, Dylan Stewart for South Carolina, Colin Simmons for Texas, if you had to pick one of those guys to add to your defense, which guy are you rocking with in 2026?
Yeah, it's a fascinating question, a really good one. I think there's 2 different answers here. I think one of them, if you're saying, hey, I want a guy right now this year, I'm taking Colin Simmons. I think he is the best edge rusher in college football. I would say the second best defensive player in college football behind Leonard Moore, the corner from Notre Dame. Colin Simmons, what he's done in his 2 years as a pass rusher is second to none, I think, in the country right now. He's an incredible pass rusher. It's a lot like Von Miller-esque tools that you see with him, the flexibility and the bend. But Stewart, you can argue, has a higher ceiling than Colin Simmons. So, if, for NFL draft perspective, if some scouts have Dylan Stewart above Colin Simmons, I understand that too, because I think Dylan Stewart has the potential to be one of the best players in the NFL if all comes together, because his physical tools are outrageous, and he has produced at a really high level too. And yeah, last year was a little bit of a down year, but also he's playing with basically a broken back for almost the entire season last year too. So I think both he and Colin Simmons could be top 5 picks in the NFL draft. Honestly, right now I would take Colin Simmons over Dylan Stewart, but Stewart long term might end up being the better player.
Is there a team nationally that you look at right now that's maybe not getting the buzz that they should be getting?
Yeah, I think there's a couple. I think Oklahoma State is a school in the Big 12 right now that I think can make a lot of noise this year with all the additions they made. I think they are my pick to be the most improved team in the country. Now, of course, it's not that hard to be that much improved because they went 1-11 last year, right? But I think there's certainly an argument to be made that, hey, if this all comes together, they could maybe win 9 or 10 games in the Big 12 this year, which would be an incredible year after what they did last year, because I think that offense is really good. The question mark is, can the defense keep up a little bit? And the other one I'll throw out there in the ACC is the California Golden Bears for basically the same reason. I think California is another school that has a really dangerous offense. I love the additions they made in the portal. I think Jaron Keave-Sungapilitele is a top 10 quarterback in America, is only a true sophomore. Again, it comes down to the defense and whether or not they can keep up a little bit. But I think Oklahoma State and Cal, those are 2 schools I'm looking at in the Big 12 and the ACC that can make a lot of noise that not enough people are talking about right now.
So I want to ask you about the Georgia Bulldogs, because we saw them in the playoff last year. They lost to Ole Miss in that Sugar Bowl game, and now obviously Kirby's going to try to figure that out and get them back to the top of the mountain. Do you believe that Georgia, after what you saw last year, some of the moves that they made this offseason, is ready to get back into that true inner circle of national title contenders this year?
Yeah, I definitely think they're always going to be in the inner circle. Whenever Kirby Smart is manning the sidelines, I mean, they've basically, I think every year except his first year as head coach, they've won 11 games, right? Which is incredible. It's like Ohio State, honestly, and what they've done in over the last decade plus, right? So, yeah, they're certainly in the inner circle. Like, I would say there's like 7 or 8 teams in the country right now that I would say can win the national title this year, and Georgia is absolutely one of them. I have question marks with their receiving core. I have question marks with their pass rush right now, too. But, yeah, whenever Kirby Smart's manning the sidelines, and I love the talent on their defense overall, I definitely think Georgia could be a school that competes for a national title this year, and I expect them to be a school that competes for a national title this year. I'm not going to pick them to win it all, but they definitely, if they won it all, though, I would not be that surprised.
Do you put Notre Dame in that tier of can win a title this year, and what would have to go right for that to happen?
Yeah, definitely. They're certainly one of those schools, too. I think Notre Dame right now has the best defense in college football, probably the best secondary in the country, maybe the best linebacker unit in the country, and a top 5 defensive line in the country, too. Then Offensively, they have a really good O-line. They have right now the Heisman Trophy favorite at quarterback, too, in C.J. Carr. There's question marks in the run game, obviously losing 2 first-round running backs in Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. But in terms of what they got to do to make it happen, win your big games. Where you got a couple big games this year, a few of them actually, BYU, Miami, and SMU. You got to win at least 2 of those 3 games to make the playoff. If you lose 2 of those 3 games, you're going to miss the playoff again like you did last year. So they show up when it matters most, because really Notre Dame, it feels like it's only a 3-game schedule for them. The other 9 games in their schedule, they are heavily, heavily favored in. So you better win those 3 big games against BYU, Miami, and SMU.
So Miami this year is making the transition to Darian Mensah at quarterback. Here's the question I have for you, because I think it's interesting, Max, where you've got Indiana right now with some momentum under center with Rourke and Mendoza. Then Miami has had Warden and Carson Beck. So between Darian Mensah and Josh Hoover, which guy do you believe is going to continue that trend of good quarterback play under center this year?
Yeah, I think both of them can. However, I have more confidence in Darian Mensah doing so. First of all, I think he's a little bit of a better player than Josh Hoover. Like, I think Mensah is a borderline top 5 quarterback in America, whereas Hoover is probably like a top 15, top 20 quarterback in America. But yeah, Mensah, I mean, he's got the best receiving core in the country to throw to, in my opinion, with Malachi Toney leading it. A really good run game to help him out, too, with Mark Fletcher leading it. And yeah, a lot of new starters on the offensive line, but also Miami's proven with Mario Cristobal as head coach and Alex Mirabal as their offensive line coach to always produce elite units on that side of the ball, too. So, yeah, I think Mensah, I would not be surprised if he's a Heisman Trophy candidate, but I also would not be surprised if Josh Hoover is in New York for the Heisman ceremony at the end of the year, too, because I think he's got a lot of talent around him, and he could be really, really good as long as he plays within the system like Fernando Mendoza and Curtis Rourke both did.
It's good stuff, Max. We appreciate your time. We'll get everybody over to the Preferred Walk-On podcast. That way they can consume all the college football stuff and great work you guys do over there. Appreciate you, man. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man. Max joined us via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We'll round out the first hour of the show next with Overs and Unders. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
At iBank Distillery Co., you'll find incredible food, handcrafted cocktails, and now expanded gluten-free menu options across all 3 Central Ohio locations. Happy hour with friends, brunch with family, dinner that never misses. Make your reservation at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at Highbank.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Hey, it's Timmy Hall for Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice, Orthopedic One. A couple years ago, I felt like I was breezing through life. I was tearing through rounds of golf, and it hit me. Excruciating hip pain. Hip that would not go away until I saw my friends at Orthopedic One. Then, bye-bye pain. So if you're dealing with constant pain or you suffered an injury, start with the specialist. Start at orthopedic1.com. There's no referral required, and there's several convenient locations in Central Ohio. Schedule your appointment at orthopedic1.com.
Life is full of uncertainties. You can't control the economy, the prices at the pump, or the grocery store, and you certainly cannot control the weather. But the one thing you can control is your home's efficiency and comfort. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us help you take back control of your home by insulating your walls with our premium foam. You give us a call today, we'll come out, we'll insulate your walls, and we'll throw in your attic for free. So give us a call today, 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation. Are you ready to tackle those home projects? With a home equity loan from CME Federal Credit Union, you get an introductory 3.99% APR for 12 months to make those upgrades happen. From patios to paint jobs, your home's next chapter starts at CME. Visit CMEFCU.org.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Are you using chat to research your next home improvement project? Well, forget all the prompts. I've got all the details on a company you can trust. For replacement windows and doors without the hassle, just look up Window Nation. They're the real deal. Homeowners across the country love the one-day installation process, especially since Window Nation installers leave your home cleaner than when they started. This month, you could get 50% off all window styles, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 2 years. That's a whole lot of savings on top-quality windows and doors. And did I mention that Window Nation backs each window with a lifetime transferable warranty? That's on top of team members double and triple checking their work, from initial measurements to final installation. Reach out to Window Nation today to get the windows featured on HGTV's Designing Spaces. And don't forget, this month you could save 50% off on all window styles, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments until 2028. Get your free quote at windownation.com today. That's windownation.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
It's time for the summer sunset sale at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, lease a new 26 Tucson SE for $149 per month for 36 months. $149 a month. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $49.95 down plus tax title first month payment. 7,500 miles per year ends 8/31.
The buzz is real at Zoombezi Bay's award-winning conservation tower. 3 all-new water slides, 1 thrilling experience. Make your splash at ZoombeziBay.com.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice presents Overs and Unders.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
All right, welcome back in. Joshua Perry in the house today. TLC, let's get it going. What do you got in Overs and Unders, my man?
All right, so we got Stephon Diggs reporting to Commanders camp. He had a press conference after his first practice, and here he is talking about rookie wide receiver Antonio Williams.
And then you got the young guys. 14 can hoop a little bit. You know, young guys don't get a name in the beginning. Just call him by the number. But he can hoop a little bit. He got some game. And, you know, hopefully I can be a piece in that process.
So how long do you have to be in camp in order to earn your name?
It's an interesting question. I think
There's
some
a follow-up.
Some vets will be like, you'll get your name when you make a play in an actual game. So that's it. Maybe it's you make the 53-man initial roster, we'll call you by your name. I know when it comes to like rookie activities, carrying pads, things of that nature, some of the vets won't consider you a veteran until your 3rd game of your 2nd season. For vesting purposes.
3rd game? Oh.
And so you're still a rookie up until then because you're not vested benefits-wise until then.
They sound like great teammates to be around. See, Matty didn't call me by my name. He just called me producer up until the point where I get...
I believe that.
No.
I think this is funny from Diggs. I think it's kind of lighthearted. I don't think there's anything serious here.
He's trying to win the PR game right now.
Diggs is?
Yeah.
It's been a lot of mess.
Yep.
He had to clean up this all season. I do like this fit, though, football-wise, with Terry McLaurin.
Oh, for sure.
Out there. You know, we'll see what Jay Daniels can get, if he can get back to the peak of his powers the way he was in his rookie season.
Needs to eat.
Man, tiny, man.
He's thin.
Saw him in Vegas a couple of years ago at the Super Bowl. He is very thin.
He's thin.
In person. And that was part of the critique, right? When he was coming out of college is he going to be available due to his frame?
Yep.
Who, Diggs or McLaurin?
Jay Daniels.
Oh, well, 0-for-2. So there you go. Oh, Jaden Daniels has all the videos on the internet of all those compilations of him getting like lit up at LSU and how every hit on him it looks like it's like cartoonish.
Yeah.
How badly he gets beat up. But the follow-up to that is how long do you have to be in camp as a vet to be able to sun the rookies? Because
for 1 minute, some of those guys will come in. I'm telling you,
Antonio Williams has been a Commander longer than Stephon Diggs has. Diggs just showed up and started calling him 14.
That's what I'm getting at. There would be like veteran free agents that would come into camp, and they're just dropping in out of nowhere. Some of them are off the street, like weren't even on a team. And they go to the hotel where everybody's staying. They'll be like, "Hey, Rook, take my bags." and then get cut a week later, but they're a veteran regardless.
So when Matty Ice wins the lottery, and he's only working here 3 times a week, and we have a new full-time host working 2 times a week, that guy just shows up and starts calling me producer, and I got to earn my name from that guy?
Well, you've been around.
That's what I'm saying. Antonio Williams has been around.
Right, but you're not a rookie anymore.
Yeah, you know what? I'm in year 2.
Yeah, happy anniversary, by the way.
Yeah.
A day late, but happy anniversary.
But I just had my fan-anniversary.
There you go. So who's the rookie around here? Because that guy, as long as he's not a rookie host, gets to come in and sun the rookie.
Isaiah, I guess.
You think Zeke was going to do that?
No.
Zeke's not sunning anybody. He's too nice.
No, I mean, he would be the rookie.
Oh, right. Okay.
I mean, if somebody came in.
Yeah, he would be.
I think he'd be a good sport.
So might be Big Mo. It might be Big Mo as the rookie. Yeah, I think Big Mo would qualify as our rookie right now.
Big Mo's been around the block
more than
right?
Zeke. I just think here as
I guess,
on the official fan roster.
Yeah, I get it.
So I guess it'd be like DeVere. So like when Didn't Catch That started up, do you think DeVere's like sunning Isaiah? Be like, hey man, I just got here, but like I'm the vet.
Yeah. What's the worst rookie? Not hazing, but like, is it carrying the pads?
No,
is it
it's
paying
for
the donuts
dinner.
and coffee every day, or
paying
all that
for the dinner?
Just that one swipe of the card that's 20 grand or whatever it is.
They will take thousands out of your pocket and think nothing of it. Like, dog, I played for 2 years, right? Like, I'm still mad about that. Like, I could use that right
Looking
now.
at your savings account, like, man,
That's a crazy thing. Like, they will literally take it out of your pocket and not think twice, because some of these dudes have been playing for 8 or 9 years, got a nice little nest egg. It's like, dog, I just started getting checks for the first time in my life. Maybe it's different for these NIL kids coming in. They already got money. I came in broke. I was starting from scratch, and they're like, "Now let me hold that."
I think we should do away with it. I think we should do away with it.
Actually, now that these guys have money coming in, I think it should be worse. $100,000 dinner. Bring out like 8 bottles of Louis XIII, bottles of Dom Perignon Cristal. Everybody's eating caviar and Wagyu. That's what I want to see.
Okay, since you brought up caviar, I've never had it.
It's good.
Is it?
I'm in.
It doesn't look like water. So what do you eat it with, or what did you eat it with?
A great question. So I like to do the caviar with a potato chip and creme fraiche. You get something that's salty and fried and crispy. Okay. And then you put a little, something to soften it, and then the caviar on it. Yeah. I've seen people, because I've gotten down this rabbit hole on caviar talk, if you will, where they do like McDonald's chicken McNuggets. Dollop of caviar on top of that.
What are we doing?
So it's this whole thing about the fried saltiness that goes well with it. And then you drink, of course, the champagne if you're really being bougie.
Which you are. That's right,
Right. But the champagne, people will also tell you, like, there's not really a better combination for champagne than, like, a French fry. Mm-hmm. Like, they say it's just, like, great combination. Fried food,
truffle
and champagne.
fries and champagne.
Yeah.
That's always a win. Caviar, you know me, though. I'm going to eat with my eyes guy first. And, like, that just doesn't look appealing to me eating fish.
Coming from the guy who thinks vanilla ice cream is the alpha ice cream, you need to broaden your horizons a little bit.
We were talking vanilla ice cream the other day. We were talking about how it pairs well. Uh-oh. What did TLC do?
Well, I texted him when you guys were having a whole long thing about stage fright, and there's vanilla ice cream question in there.
The stage fright thing was brand new to me. I don't know if that's a thing for you.
It is.
Is it for you too?
Yep. Shoulder to shoulder in a stinky, confined area with another man. It's gonna take me a minute to get my mind right.
Okay, so that's now you, TLC, AR, and Ian Fitzsimmons. So I'm in the minority there.
You are.
That this is more of a thing than I realized.
That you can just get up and go.
Because I'm not thinking about anybody when I'm in there. It's just, hey, I got to get the job done. I'm in and I'm out. But your mind goes to just the dudes that are around you while you're at the stall.
Don't do me like that. Do not say it like that.
One of the YouTube commenters during that conversation said that the NFL players at the station should not have it because you guys should be used to this stuff with drug tests.
Oh, I've told the drug test story before. I don't know if I've told it on this show.
I haven't heard it.
I don't think you have.
So when I was in the NFL, you get drug tests in the offseason. When you're in season, they just do it at the facility. The way it goes there is drop your pants below the knee.
Okay.
And there's somebody there who is watching the sample go into the cup. They want to make sure you don't have like a Whizzinator or something. So in the off season, if you're not in town, you have to do it in your home potentially. Okay. And one of the first pieces of advice that Bobby Carpenter, who should never have stage fright because he used to piss on dudes in the shower, allegedly, is what he told me. We were here the one day.
I think he did say that.
Allegedly, according to him.
Yes.
Well, I just want to clear that up. Don't do it at your house. He's like, there's nothing more demoralizing than another man coming into your home and telling you to drop your pants and watching you pee in a cup. He's like, if you have any ability to control the location, do it at the Woody if you're in Columbus. And I took him up on that. The first time I ever did it, I had somebody at my parents' house, is where I was staying during the off season. Yeah. And I was like, this is just a whole situation. So then I started doing it, made it an away game.
The urine man is at the door, Joshua.
Yeah, the pee
He's
guy.
here for you.
And then you give them the samples. They have to pour them in the thing, look at the temperature, make sure it's fine. Then they tape them up, and they have you sign an initial. It's a whole process.
It's awkward. All of it. Yep. All of it's awkward. Those are your overs and unders for this week. Coming up after an update, top of the hour. Now that we have framework as far as who are supposed to be the best teams in college football, thanks to the coaches poll, who now in our minds are the teams under the most pressure to perform up to this expectation that's now set on paper? We'll talk about it next with Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Nothing annoys me more than wasting time. Scotty Vegas here, and I want to be golfing or playing tennis or betting on people golfing and playing tennis. I hate waiting on an oil change, but that's all changed. Krieger Ford, the car buying experience was amazing. The service, just as good. I left my Bronco in the driveway and easily scheduled an oil change at KriegerFord.com, and they even came right to me and changed it. All game changer, the Krieger Ford experience. Experience it at KriegerFord.com.
Something big has just dropped at Hothead Burritos. Introducing barbecue pork carnitas. Juicy, mouth-watering pork carnitas. Our limited time new citrus chipotle barbecue sauce. Savor the summer flavor. Hothead Burritos. Get up and get you some.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doop doop, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh, yeah.
And we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Out here, you know the drill. Animals are hungry, dogs are getting muddy, and you just noticed you're low on feed. Stocking up at Tractor Supply is easy on your wallet with our unbeatable prices on select shavings, retriever dog food, and Producer's Pride animal and poultry feed. From backyards to barnyards, we've got everything to keep your pets, animals, and livestock well fed and comfortable with low prices all summer. At Tractor Supply.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Warmer weather, longer days, lighter meals, more time outside. Summer gives weight loss a head start. Awaken 180 gives you the plan to make it happen. Ride the momentum with Awaken 180, the official weight loss program of summer.
How many of you have had your garage floor done? I'll wait for the answer. Yeah, that's enough. How many of you think it looks like crap? That's because it is crap. One quick call to Comer & Cross Concrete Floor Coatings at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, and they can install a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor in one day. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It's like pulling into a new car showroom every night. And here's the best part. It is guaranteed your garage floor will never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And listen, you lazy bum, they'll even take the stuff out of the garage for you. They're all certified uniform pros. No subcontractors at Comer & Cross. This is a premier product with premier results. and they hired a premier endorser to tell you about it. For your quick and easy Comer and Cross garage floor quote, call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR now. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to comercross.com, C-O-M-E-R cross.com.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Your next getaway is closer than you think at your Columbus Zoo. Baby elephants, playful tigers, hungry giraffes. Explore North America Trek and discover rescued bear cubs, eagles, and more. Plan your visit today at columbuszoo.org.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible. But Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the Columbus community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
After my accident, people warned me to slow down. I said, I don't know how. Thanks to my VA care team, I haven't.
At VA, we're using technology to help veterans recover faster and live their lives to the fullest. Learn more at vacareers.va.gov/PSA.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Tyler Danberg. Ohio State football wrapped up day 2 of practice this morning. Buckeyes practice in front of the fans one last time tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. Also today, Baylor transfer kicker Connor Hawkins was named to the Lou Groza Award watch list. Last season, he ranked 5th in the Big 12, making 82% of his kicks while nailing 3 field goals from 50-plus yards. More college, as part of the NCAA's new 5-for-5 rule, Texas O-lineman Cole Hudson got a 5th year of eligibility. Despite trying out for the Browns and Cowboys, he'll be eligible to face the Buckeyes September 12th in Austin. Baseball, Reds look to win 5 straight when they visit the Nationals at 6:45. Guardians are at the White Sox at 7:40. Chicago leads Cleveland and Minnesota by 3 games in the AL Central. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Take a vacation from high interest rates with special rates on balance transfers at BMI Federal Credit Union. BMIFCU.org/Visa.
Anthony can follow direction very well as long as he first prints out MapQuest. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
That's you are. Hour number 2. Tyler Danberg, the update desk, doing a great job.
My guy.
TLC on the board. Yeah, Tyler Danberg, hop on the mic for me. See you in there, still TLC.
Hey, Maddie.
TD. We just wanted to show you some love, man, because you've been grinding.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Getting to it, over at practice, doing updates, coming back here. So, yeah, we just wanted to give you your flowers, my man. And you're going to be all over the Buckeye coverage with the team this year, man. It's going to be awesome.
Well, thank you guys so much. That really means a lot coming from you all. It's going to be a fun year. Really excited to get back to camp. You know, it's fun because you get these 3 days, and then we have to wait a little bit more for September 5th. But football's here, guys. We've made it.
So the first time I met Tyler was when he was a student at OSU, and I went back and spoke to one of the media classes there. And dude was dialed in, asked the best questions.
Just built different.
He's been grinding ever since I saw him that time, and it's just gone from there.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really fun
different.
to watch.
He's got so much runway left to just be an absolute dude. TD.
Which class?
Well, actually, fun story. It actually wasn't a class. I was hanging out in the journalism building at Ohio State. There's a TV newsroom and a TV studio, and I was cutting up a package for a different class. And as luck would have it, Joshua came in with the great professor Nicole Kraft's sports journalism class. And luckily, the mics were on in the TV studio, and I got a 30-minute crash course from Joshua, then ended up meeting him after, and he came into a class and answered questions. So I actually got some tips on how to properly sit at the desk. Joshua had the tip of holding a pencil in your finger to make sure you know what you're doing with your hands.
Are you Lee Corso?
Calm your hands down.
Yeah.
Got a pen in my hand right now.
Yeah,
I do it too.
Hold on, let me take some notes here. I'm ready to go.
See, this is good.
That's good stuff. I
And
love that
we
story.
got smart ass over here, who just won't learn, and then we've got TD who is like the most eager to learn.
No, I'm eager to learn.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. No, you're not. TD.
I like learning by
you're eager to
watching
argue.
people, not being told.
Yeah, okay.
TD, before we let you go, you were at practice today. Anything that stuck with you, anything surprised you today that you saw from either the offense or the defense?
Yeah, I'll start off with Devin McEwen because there were a couple of big plays he made today. But there was one play that stuck out in particular, and it was a touchdown that he scored back right corner of the end zone. If you're facing the right side of the woody, it goes from left to right, and he makes a beautiful catch on a corner route in the back right corner of the end zone. And what I loved from that was wide receivers coach Cortez Hankton in his first year. Devin McEwen, by the way, first transfer in the history of the Ohio State football program as a wide receiver. Cortez Hankton was fired up. He went over into the celebration like in the big mob scene and was giving love to his guys. So that stuck out. Just really excited to see what these guys. I also saw a lot of just vocal presence from Julian Sayin as he continues to lead the quarterback room and the offense. So really excited to see year 2 of Julian.
Good stuff. Go get some lunch, man. You've been grinding all day. We appreciate you, TD. Thank
Appreciate
you,
you guys.
It's good to hear, though, what he just said about Julian.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Right? Because I've heard that now from TD. I've heard that from Brandon Ennis. I've heard that from Jeremiah this week as well, is that everybody can feel and hear the presence of Julian as now more of a vocal leader.
I did a one-on-one with Julian in Chicago for media days. And so I went out beforehand. We're kind of catching up. I hadn't really met him before, so I want to do a proper introduction. But I was asking him about his offseason process. And one of the things that he talked about was connection with the guys, just building more connection within the offense. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is I think you feel more comfortable being vocal and getting on guys when you're more connected, right? Like nobody wants to be fussed at by a guy that they feel like they don't know very well. They feel like they don't have a good relationship. When you're close with people, it's a little bit easier to lift your voice. So I'm glad that he's putting it into practice.
Since we're talking about Julian, let's hear a couple sound bites from him. Here he is on working with his new offensive coordinator, Arthur Smith.
He's been great. I mean, such a bright offensive mind and somebody who I can really just go pick his brain and learn so much from him. And him having an NFL background, and we watched Steelers tape, we watched all the places he's been. It's so helpful for my development.
We've all been curious about what he's been working on in the lab. Here it is directly from his mouth and how he's grown over the offseason.
I think this offseason I grew a lot in my physical traits, so I think I'm throwing the ball harder. Still growing my game in the processing side because, when you have coaches like Coach Day and Coach Smith who have been around great quarterbacks and who know the game really well, it's very helpful as a quarterback to be able to process things and kind of train your brain.
So when we hear a quarterback say that now he's throwing the ball harder, from your perspective as a defender, how can that affect you? How can that be more of a positive for the quarterback? Just break that down when you hear a quarterback talk about now they can throw harder.
Well, I mean, if you're watching tape from last year and you see maybe how much loft he had to get on some of the balls that he was trying to throw down the field, right? If you're a corner and you're saying, man, I was in phase and I just didn't get my head back, like I didn't take my chance. Now you're sitting there thinking, okay, like I'm going to undercut that and I'm going to go up and get the ball. But now if he's getting it there with a little bit more pace, like you might end up looking foolish. It was one of the things that I immediately noticed when I saw him in Chicago and then once again yesterday out at practice, where he's got such a young face to begin with. So it fools you a little bit, just his actual stature.
Little baby face assassin going on.
Yeah, but like he's a little bit thicker. Body looks a little bit harder right now. Like he looks like he spent a lot of time in the lab. He had the one quote where he said he's eating the dog bowls right now.
Yeah.
Throw the rice, the veggies and some protein.
Whatever it was.
And like he was committed to reinventing himself physically, which I think was important.
And those type of things too, right? Like you get stronger, obviously with the stuff that you highlighted, pushing the ball downfield and all that. But it's like, hey, if a Joshua Perry's blitzing, I can maybe shrug him off, shake him off this year and extend the play.
By the way, it's 3rd and 3, and we thought we were going to drop back and hit a quick one. Our first option's not open. I don't have a lot of time, and I got to dive to get that first down. You feel a little bit more confident doing that?
There's going to be such relief and joy probably for Coach Day when that happens for the first time this season.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Where he maybe sees it, goes through his progressions, it's not there, and he tucks it and run. Because I don't think it's going to have to be at a high level every game.
And by the way, I'm not one of those guys that when he runs it, where he needs to run into a linebacker and get hit. Like, you can slide, you can hit the sideline. I really don't care, but I just want you to have that confidence that you can run it. And, like, you know, the chance that you do get hit, you pop right back up because you got the body by Marotti. You can handle that.
That's probably what it takes too, right? For a quarterback like him, a pocket passing guy, all of his football, he probably needs to take that one hit, right? Maybe down there in that Texas game to lock him in. But that's going to be fun. It's all like the quarterback, having a year 2 quarterback that already in year 1 had so much success within this system with the weapons that he has. He's going to be right there amongst all the other elite quarterbacks in college football again this season. Coaches poll came out this week, as you know, Buckeyes #1. When you looked at 1 through 25, and I hit you with this question, coach, player, team that jumps off the screen and you think, ooh, now they got to live up to that. Who is that for you?
All right, let me pull up my coach's poll here. So I will start by saying I do think Ohio State is getting a lot of benefit of the doubt being the #1 team. And this is not to say that I don't think they're good. They're going to be right there at the end of the year. But replacing a lot on defense.
Yeah.
The offensive line should be much better, but we have to see that still. There's a question of who is going to be that guy as Jeremiah's running mate.
Yeah.
Both of the running backs, the top 2 backs, were banged up in the spring, right? So, like, I do think there are some questions. Ohio State's always going to have to live up to whatever expectation there is, so that's a given, but I did want to highlight that. Listen, I think Texas is going to be a good team. I'm struggling with them a little bit because I'm still not fully in on the Arch experience. Like, I'm not sure that they're a top 5 preseason team to me.
I think both the head coach and quarterback down there in Austin have tons of pressure on them.
They do.
When you look at Sark and where he's at, being paid as a top 10 head coach in the sport, hired back in 2021, couple playoff appearances, but this is, man, I think this is the team he has to deliver with. Maybe it's not winning the whole thing, but I think probably down there in their neck of the woods, they're thinking, we got a national championship squad.
Yes,
and
they
so
do.
I wonder if this isn't a semifinal or further for Sark in Texas.
I think the semifinal would still leave people with a bad taste in their mouth because he's done that before.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he, you know, we've seen him do that, and it's Texas. Like, I think they're like, when is our time going to be? We watch Indiana win one. Like, when is our time going to be again? And I think USC feels similarly. And I don't think they're national title, but they're definitely feeling playoff pressure this year. Lincoln Riley probably hasn't gone the way that he's wanted it to go. So I think those are 2 teams that, like, off of the history of the program alone, are feeling pressure to get back to some sort of major relevance. Texas has the relevance, not the title. USC is trying to get back to that.
That's
like,
it.
We're in the title conversation
Correct.
every year.
I think they have 1/3 of the equation figured out between offense, defense, special teams.
Yep.
We know the offense is always going to be good to probably great in the college football world based off of him and the players that play for him, but that's how they got to close the gap.
Yes.
Is that when you play Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana, some of these other big-time programs in the conference and elsewhere, can you get off the field when you need to? And a lot of the time under his watch, whether it was at Oklahoma or at USC, you catch some of their games and they can be in track meets, right? Like, you got to get to 30, 35 to probably feel good about getting out of there with a dub.
I think the other thing for USC is closing out games. And that, to me, is that mental grind it. Ryan Day has talked about this.
Big for him this year.
Yes.
Fourth quarter stuff.
Winning in the fourth quarter because he knows that they're going to have some tough games. But USC has been a team that has lost games late, whether it's a missed tackle here, whether it's a late bad interception there. That, to me, feels like, again, a part of the mental makeup of a team. You have the grit. Do you have the defense? Like, those things go hand in hand to me.
So they slot in at 14th in the coaches poll. JP, unless Rutgers is going to surprise us as a team that, you know, under Schiano's watch has a little bit of bite to it. It's San Jose State, Fresno State, Louisiana, 3 games in a row to start the season at home for USC.
Yep.
The measuring stick game will be September 26th, home against Oregon.
Yes.
That's when we'll find out because Dante Moore, Jakarian, like those weapons that they have, Evan Stewart's back as well. Like all those guys right? They're coming full tilt at you in that defense. So we'll find out then what they can do on that side of the ball. Coming up after the break, it's Friday. We'll do Under Pressure with TLC, JP, and myself with Rothman Ice right here on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Hi, guys. This is the Rocket Roger Clemens. You don't pitch in the majors for 24 years without feeling it later. Shoulders, elbows, knees. Trust me, pain doesn't retire when you do.
That's baseball legend Roger Clemens.
I tried the ice. I tried rest, PT, nothing really worked. When I heard about QC Kinetics, the concept sounded promising. Non-surgical regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself without surgery. Sign me up, just what I needed, real lasting relief.
Whether you're a former pro, a weekend golfer, or just want to walk around pain-free again, QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge technology and natural biologics to help restore and repair damaged tissue.
I trusted them with my joints. Now I'm back doing what I love.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Common Man and Timmy has been voted the dumbest show in America.
What size pant are you in? That's a Puma pants, and you know that it's wrong. It's a 38.
Here's a comment from a real listener. I just started listening to the stupid show. It's minimal sports discussion with large amounts of absolute nonsense.
Why don't you just put on a sundress and sashay around the town square?
Common Man and Timmy reaching new heights of stupid. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on The Fan. Ohio's nonsense destination.
Everybody thinks they're a great driver. Outlaw Motor Speedway gives you the chance to prove it. Experience professional racing simulators, full motion rigs, and some of the world's iconic tracks right here in Grandview. Race your friends, join a league, or bring the office out for an unforgettable corporate event. And when the checkered flag drops, keep the night going with great food and drinks here or next door at Agave and Rye. Then climb back in the driver's seat and see who's got what it takes. Book your race today at outlawsimracing.com.
There are lots of ways you could celebrate America's 250th year. Epic fireworks, adopting your own bald eagle, treating your coworkers to a very special rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. Or you could just go to America250ohio.org, where you'll find tons of cool events in counties all over Ohio that celebrate America and the big role our state played in its history. Start your celebration at America250ohio.org. Sponsored by the Ohio History Connection, aired by the OAB and this station.
Newman Roofing is proud to sponsor The Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat Fan Drive. Help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. Purchase new box fans and take them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station or buy online. For more information, visit 10tv.com/beattheheat or lifecarelines.org.
Getting a speeding ticket can ruin your day. But what about that cyclist or the pedestrian crossing the street? If you hit them while speeding, you'll do more than just ruin their days. That's why tickets are more than just a fine. They're a second chance. A reminder of what's on the line when you're behind the wheel. You won't get a do-over every time. So take this as your sign to follow the speed limit every drive. Speeding slows you down. Paid for by NHTSA.
What defines Ohio? A place that dares to go first and never looks back. There's no slowing us down. At Jobs Ohio, our mission is clear. Strengthen job opportunities and empower Ohio's workforce. Another reason why Ohio is now ranked the #1 state for business by CNBC. This is what unstoppable feels like. We did it together, Ohio. Our time is now. See Ohio's momentum at jobsohio.com/Ohio's time.
Do you feel that? The season is getting closer. Buckeye football comes your way in 29 days. Every game, every season. Proud to be your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Happy Friday. Highs today right around the mid-80s. Feeling a little bit warmer, though, with the combination of all that humidity out there. It's a little muggy as you step out the door. Friday afternoon into the evening hours, isolated showers and storms return back into our forecast, and that's going to get you through the rest of your Friday. I'm your 10 Weather Impact meteorologist, Lily Aldrich, with 97.1 The Fan.
The Big 9 was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Under Pressure.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Get 50% off all window styles plus no payments for 2 years. Visit windownation.com.
All right, JP, let's get to it. Joshua Perry in the house today. I want you to lead us off, man. You ready to go?
I think I'm ready.
All right, go ahead and cook, man. Do your thing.
All right, so I'm going to pick something from kind of my orbit of sports media.
Okay.
I think CBS is under a little bit of pressure right now. This whole Tony Romo fiasco, put him on ice. They're looking over the contracts, which I actually have a conspiracy theory that somebody over there urged the body cam footage to be leaked because they're trying to build a case to fire this man with cause because he's got 72 M's left on this terrible deal they did. Whew. But if that's the case, where do they go? Mm-hmm. And we talked about this a little bit earlier, I think maybe even before the show, but you've got Greg Olson, who was really good and probably deserves to be in a top booth and would desire to be in one. But you've also got Aikman, whose contract I believe is coming up, and Kirk Herbstreit's contract coming up with Amazon, I believe, as well. Where do you go? So they've got a little bit of pressure to figure out exactly what that's going to look, but this might have given them the golden opportunity to get out of an albatross of a deal that they had.
I'm very curious when it comes to Aikman, whether or not he wants to do a new deal before or after the Super Bowl this year, because ESPN has it.
Yes.
So obviously he's going to be on the call. Curious about that. And by the way, the whole Miami Dolphins Troy Aikman thing this all season, strange. Just how he's allowed to he helped them with their draft process, and I don't know, it's just odd. Like, I don't think they're breaking a rule or anything.
I don't know.
But
I feel like media is entering territories publicly where they typically haven't.
Yeah, I can't remember hearing about a current color analyst.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if
Tom Brady
teams made calls. Well, that's a whole thing that I actually have a real problem with. It's neither here nor there. But I feel like teams have probably made calls to guys in the past, and it was just never really. And we're so comfortable now with the blurred lines of what media actually is. Where it's
I think the pandemic did that.
Yeah,
I honestly believe that with the way that things are structured now, and you're seeing anybody can call in from anywhere and do an interview at any time. That opened up this mindset of, oh my God, we don't need them in a studio or all of that stuff. Like, I think it's just, to your point, willy-nilly a little bit to a certain degree.
It is willy-nilly.
Yeah, when it comes to media and how it's being thrown out to us and consumed by us. First candidate for me, and this is no fault of his own, JP, is Barry Odom. Guess why? Because of this.
Every recruit, every current student athlete will hear this message repeatedly. We are here to win championships. If you don't want to win championships, go to Indiana.
That clip, come the last week of the regular season, will be played everywhere, and you better believe it's going to be played in the Hoosiers facility. So, Barry Odom, head coach of Purdue, you are now under a decent amount of pressure because when we get to that game, this is going to be a thing again. And so the AD tried to win the press conference, JP. We've seen this for years. Coaches, AD, whoever it is, they try to come in and win over the fan base with a spicy take or a spicy line. That's what he did. He doesn't have to really answer for this. The players and the head coach do. So I'm putting Barry Odom now on the pressure list, unfortunately.
No, I think Tom McClellan's going to have to answer for this at some point. Because here's the reality of the situation. You take the job at Purdue, and you hope that football is 500 or better and that basketball is rocking. Mm-hmm. And if you can do those two things, you're probably fine. So if basketball doesn't come through for you, I know that football is probably not.
Yeah.
Immediately, the Board of Trustees is going to look at that clip and be like, yeah, we ain't giving this man no leash. He's getting no extra from us. Yeah. That was, as Urban would say, that was a tactical error. Mm-hmm. That was bad ball.
So we're going to have to wait a few months for that game. But along the way, they host Notre Dame. So TLC squad will probably put it on them there. Damon Williams in Washington comes to town. We'll see what they can do. They do have to go to Penn State and Iowa as well. No Ohio State, no Oregon on their schedule. And so a couple tough-ish games for them, so maybe they can get to that 500 level that you're talking about, and maybe all this will be in the wind by the end of the year.
I had him on my list as well for under pressure.
Yeah.
And we kind of got started on maybe we should talk about this because we got Pat McAfee on here in the studio.
Yeah. And guess who was a guest today?
I mean,
old Tommy McClellan.
I'm curious what was asked. If that, I'm sure he asked him about it. What did he have to say?
I thought it was AI when they played it for me yesterday. I thought when AR and TLC brought it to the show, I was like, there's no way he said that.
Why would you do that?
Dude, McAfee's got such a quick turnaround on this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he's got Purdue's AD on today. He had
Moorhead on, too.
Moorhead on
Akron's
yesterday.
head coach, yeah.
Talking about the sweepstakes.
It's the machine and the platform. He's got all of that, right? He's got the ESPN machine behind him, and these coaches and people know that I'm going to take advantage of the platform he's on to help our program or whatever it may be. So, it's the best of both worlds for McAfee.
There's a flip side of that, too, where if you don't go on the show, McAfee's going to be like, oh, we tried to call so-and-so, and they turned us down, as he likes to do. So, yeah, it's that whole thing, by the way. $60 million to pay for a show that you don't even own. That man's got so much power. It's crazy to me.
He has, I mean, we're talking about a guy that was a punter in the NFL, and a good one. He was, right? Like, he was a good punter. But I don't, this is crazy, right? Like, I know he got in, did some work with Barstool and did all that stuff, but the way that this is blown up, to your point about the dollar figure that allegedly is on the way. Now, he does a lot.
Yeah,
he does do a lot.
He's got to pay all his people, and he's got to pay for all the sets and everything, right? So it's not like that's all going into his pocket,
right.
But they got a lot of belief and confidence in one man to say, like, this is your budget, and we don't even own this. Like, we're just giving this to you so we can put some of it on our air.
I think safe to say he and Stephen A, the faces of ESPN right now?
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Can I give you another under pressure?
Please.
I think the Big 12 conference is under pressure this season in college football. You had the Texas Tech whole
Sorsby deal.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're still your number one team. So I think there's some pressure to make amends as well as you can there. Then you had this monster deal where they're putting a patch, and it's, Big 12 football presented by Monster Energy, which nobody's going to say. And they can put other patches on there, but that deal looks a little bit light because of some of the individual jersey patch sponsorships that we've seen.
Yeah, we found out shortly after that, Ohio State, their number, Notre Dame, and their number.
So it feels like they're definitely lacking there. And then there's this idea of, can you get more than one into the postseason, into the college football playoff? Because last year it was Tech. They didn't look very good when they got in there.
No.
But BYU was sitting there holding the bag. And I think this year, for the sake of the credibility of that conference and their long-term health, probably got to get 2 in.
You think BYU and Tech, that's probably their best bets, right? Even
BYU,
without Sorsby?
Tech, Houston, I think, is going to be good this year.
Okay.
Utah's an interesting case because they have Dampier still.
Yes.
But they lost Whittingham. They lost OC Beck to Michigan. Morgan Scalley's the head coach who was their DC, so that structure should be the same on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be in the mix. But
I just don't think there's going to be a lot of chatter about that conference this year.
No,
man.
there's not.
As always,
that's a
it'll be
real problem.
Ton of Big Ten and SEC. How deep is the ACC?
Right. And at least they've got Miami sitting there.
Right. They probably on paper, 3 teams?
Yeah, I mean, Louisville's a fun team to watch from that conference, and they've been known to beat some of the better teams on their schedule. Like, if they can figure out not losing to bad teams, they'll probably be there toward the end.
I asked Max Chadwick earlier about Josh Hoover or Darian Mensah this year. Who would you side with?
So it's an interesting question because I agree with the take that Mensah's probably the better player. But I think I trust Cignetti more in how he has developed quarterbacks.
If he, meaning Cignetti and that staff, they figure this out, because Hoover's a turnover guy, right?
Yeah. But Mendoza was too.
Right. And so he coached that out of him, right? And so
it's a good system. What they do, they're heavy RPO.
Yep.
So the run is a lot of times an element, but they also read leverage and they read box counts in their pass game.
Right.
So if they're light box, they're going to try to run it. If they feel like they have numbers on the outside or if they have soft coverage, they're going to run a hitch and they're just going to throw it out there. They had so many free access passes last year. It's one of the things where I talked about Mendoza as an NFL prospect. Listen, you had to take quarterback at 1, whatever the case was. I wasn't as sold on him as some of the other people were because I think that system definitely did some heavy lifting.
And I think to a certain degree, the Raiders agree with you.
Yeah.
Because of what they did with Kirk Cousins
100%.
financially, where they did. So they probably saw down the road, we got something. But right now, with the system that he's coming out of, he's still got a lot to learn. Coming up in 2 minutes, NFL training camps popping off. A lot to talk about. We will do so with Brendan Deeg from The Score next. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
At 614's 2026 Columbus Awards, High Bank took home honors for best cocktails, gastropub, happy hour, and overall bar and more. Whether it's date night, brunch, happy hour, dinner with the family, High Bank has something for everyone. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
State Fair food is getting smaller and pricier.
We'll have room for fried cookies.
Okay, you'd never overspend on food. What's your deal?
What's his deal? He went to Metro and got $450 in value on the new Samsung Galaxy A37 5G for free and no activation fees.
Free phone? Oh, sign me up.
Get that more for your money feeling. Only on Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number and activate $40 period plan. $450 based on device discount, waived activation fee. Not available if with Metro T-Mobile in the past 180 days.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
At most financial institutions, they look at you like you're just an account number. Anthony Rothman here for Tel Ohio Credit Union, where you are a member. That's the difference and the power of belonging. Bank where you are the bottom line. Join now at telohio.org.
Thank you for calling 1-800-GOT-JUNK. We make room for possibilities.
We've loaded the moving van and we're leaving a ton of stuff at our old address. Can you make it disappear?
All you have to do is point.
Can you come right now?
We're on our way.
We make space for hope.
We make space for dreams.
We make space for what matters.
We are 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Let us make room for your possibilities.
We can make your house happier.
And your future brighter.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Maddie's favorite show is Big Brother. Don't read into it. He's only watching strangers through hidden cameras. You're listening to Rothman and Creepy Stalker Guy.
No, I'm all in on Big Brother. Mama Perry, not so
She
much,
said
right?
no. She is out.
Tough. Heard that a couple times, too. We may have to get in that a little bit later. What we're getting into right now is all things National Football League with Brendan Deeg, NFL news editor over at The Score. My man, welcome in. How you feeling today?
I'm doing well, guys. How you guys doing?
Doing well. As always, we appreciate your time. All right, the most interesting storyline right now that's popped off over the last couple of days around the league since training camps have started is what in your mind?
Got to be Haynes King last night, no? I'm just joking. Look, that was a guy I loved at Georgia Tech. He was like, I have this like memory. I think it was my third year at The Score of him coming back and beating Miami at Georgia Tech. But remember, I don't know if you guys remember when Cristobal didn't take a knee and the running back fumbled, and then Georgia Tech came back and won. I remember going crazy at the office of that game. So Haynes King always has a special place in my heart. But the most interesting storyline, like if you want to just kind of go league wide, in my opinion, is the Minnesota Vikings quarterback battle. It sounds like Kyler Murray has basically won this job. I never bought into the fact that J.J. McCarthy even had a chance when they signed Kyler Murray. It never really made sense if you think about it this way. Like, it would make more sense for Kyler to start, and then if Kyler does play now, you give J.J. McCarthy a chance to kind of see maybe save the season instead of the other way around where J.J. McCarthy looked as bad as he did last year. and then put him in and then have kind of Kyler save the season. So in my opinion, it just never made sense to roll with JJ. But Kyler's kind of taking full advantage of his opportunities. He looked great so far in camp. He's reportedly taken 2/3 of the first team snaps over the last 3 practices. So Minnesota's one of the most interesting teams in the NFL this season, in my opinion. If you look back at last year, like they went 6-4 with J.J. McCarthy as a starting quarterback last year. J.J. McCarthy had 200 qualifying quarterbacks over the last 5 seasons, ranked 195th in passer rating. So like this is a chance, or like in the season, so like in an individual season, not just out of all the quarterbacks. So like every quarterback in their season. So out of 200 quarterback seasons in 2020, he's ranked 195th in passer rating, and they were able to go 6-4. So like if you just drop like an average to maybe slightly above average quarterback on this Minnesota team, how good can they be? You add Juwan Jennings, the offensive line gets healthier. They hired Frank Smith, who worked under Mike McDaniel to kind of help with that run game. I don't know. Minnesota's like a sneaky team for me this year. I'm very fascinated by them.
All right, so you were joking around a little bit about the preseason football, but do we take anything away from the way that Carson Beck played last night?
I think like there's no negatives to it, right? Like if you're an Arizona Cardinals fan and you have to be somewhat excited. Like he made some really nice throws. He had that sidearm throw that he had that deep ball to Virgil that was dropped, but it was a nice double throw, like double move. He looked comfortable in the offense. Like there's zero negatives to that. Like he played as well as anyone could have imagined. I still think this is Jacoby Brissett's job, but I've always been kind of under the impression with the Arizona Cardinals this year. Like I'm sure you guys have seen their schedule. Their schedule is super hard, very early. Like if you look across from like weeks 1 to 11, there's 1 or 2 wins on that schedule. Like they start at first Carolina and the Raiders, but then you got like the Cowboys, the Packers, the Chargers, the Seahawks, the 49ers, the Lions, the Rams, the Broncos, the Cowboys. It's really rough. So I think there's a scenario where like they're like 1-10 or 2-9 or something by week 11 or 12, and then Carson Beck, they're just going to try to maybe punt on the season and see what they have in Carson Beck, because they did use real resources to get him, right? Like a 3rd round pick's not nothing. They targeted him, they wanted him. So this is a team that they're like a successful season for them is all the young guys around the quarterback, like Marvin Harrison Jr. taking a step up, Will Johnson on the edge, Walter Nolan, like the guys that they've spent draft capital on looking good so they can drop a quarterback on this team in 2027 to take them to the playoffs. So you have to kind of see at some point what you have in Carson Beck.
Brendan Digg, NFL news editor from The Score, joining us here on Rothman and Ice. All right, Brendan, let's go up to Cleveland. I'm going to make you Andrew Berry in this conversation we're having right now. And let's live in a world where Todd Monken comes into your office and says, Brendan, I'm rolling with Deshaun. I'm going to roll with Deshaun Watson as our starter, and then let's say you have to make a decision at the end of the road that, hey, do I want to give him a new deal or not? What would Brendan Digg need to see as the GM of the Browns to want to re-up again with Deshaun Watson and hand him a new deal?
One, he has to play all 17 games. Like that, or at least 15 to 17, like no serious injuries. Like the health thing, he has not played well at all. He is 39th out of 40 qualified quarterbacks in EPA per dropback since he went with the Cleveland Browns. He's been arguably like a bottom 3 quarterback since there. But the other thing is health. Like he hasn't been on the field. Like he's had 2 torn Achilles injuries. He's had a shoulder injury. Like they spent $230 million to get this quarterback, and they barely seen him play. So like he has to stay healthy. That is number 1. Number 2, he has to look like a top 12, top 10 quarterback in the NFL. And number 3, they have to look around and say, do we have another option to get a better quarterback? So they have the extra 1st round pick from the Myles Garrett trade. Let's say if Deshaun Watson plays well enough and they're like a 12th, he's like the 12th to 10th best quarterback, that most likely means that they're 7-10, 6-11 at worst, maybe. So that means they're picking in the 8th to 12th slot or whatever, however the rest of the league shakes out. So that puts them behind the 8 ball and going to get a quarterback in the 2027 draft. So it's one, he has to look like a top 10, 12 quarterback, stay healthy, and then they have to look around and say, okay, what other options do we have to get another quarterback? The 2nd, 1st round pick is key. We all know this is a kind of like very highly touted quarterback class coming out. There's 3 to 4 guys who will probably minimum go in the 1st round. So I think there's a ton of variables. at play. I think it's going to be Deshaun Watson. I believe I said this on the show maybe 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. I still kind of stick by that. Apparently looked good on day 7 at camp. Didn't look so good on day 8. Installation's over at Browns practice at training camp now. That's another thing people kind of forget with training camp is like a lot of the beginning part is install. Like offense install. Once that's done, then you get to see the actual real part of camp. Like who are these plays are already installed now. They're not running stuff for the first time. Now we'll get kind of a look. And it sucks because I'm so excited about the Browns. I want to be so excited about the Cleveland Browns offense because Casey Concepcion, if you follow me on Twitter, is a guy I absolutely loved coming out of the draft. Denzel Boston looked great so far in camp. Quinshawn Judkins, they have so many fun young guys, and it sucks that they don't have a legitimate quarterback to kind of let this offense fly this year.
All right, Brendan, feels like every year we have the conversation, but if you had to pick a candidate to go from worst to first in their division, who would it be?
I think there's only 2 that have a shot. It's the Detroit Lions or the New Orleans Saints, in my opinion. The Detroit Lions have a very easy schedule this year after having a tough schedule last year. So they have that going for them. But I am kind of a tad worried about their secondary. We know what happened with Terry Arnold, and they don't have a lot of depth behind him as well. So I don't know how then they also have injuries. I think Kirby Joseph is not practicing. Brian Branch. They have a ton of question marks on the back end of that defense. But with their easy schedule, their offense kind of coming back. They hired a new offensive coordinator as well. They have fresh ideas coming in. So I think that has to be one, but they have a tough division. And then the other one is the New Orleans Saints. I think that would probably be my pick just because, one, the NFC South, it's completely up for grabs right now. None of those teams have kind of extended themselves and looked like the favorite the last few years. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have obviously won that division majority of the time since 2020, but still, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a ton of question marks. And I liked what I saw from Tyler Shuck down the stretch last year. The Saints defense ranked second in success rate and EPA per play from the second half of last year. Can they keep that up? They've brought back a ton of that defense. They brought back Brandon Staley as a defensive coordinator. There's usually you can't really look at continuity from last year to the year before, but if it's the same guy, same kind of players and coach, that is something you can kind of look forward to the year prior. So I think the Saints would be my pick, but I really think there's only 2 between the Saints and the Detroit Lions.
Are you on board with the running back deals that have been handed out this week? So Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs. When you look at those 3 running backs, where they are right now and the money that they all received, do you like all of them, or are you maybe looking at 1 or maybe 2 and saying, I don't know about that?
No, all of them, absolutely on board. We all know we kind of hit that lull from the late 2010s to maybe 2-3 years ago where running backs weren't getting paid, right? We saw that the year with Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, all those guys kind of hit free agency. All those guys deserved it, especially Bijan and Gibbs. Those are the 2 of you're going to make the argument, the 2 best running backs in the NFL right now. And I loved, and I'm also super fascinating. I think it's cool that they're all signing these 3-year deals because that does help running backs. If you're able to kind of go to a shorter term extension, a 3-year contract, that kind of sways the team to pay you, right? If you're asking for 4 or 5 years, that's where teams get pushed off by the fact. So I don't know if it's the agents of these running backs that are doing this and pushing for 3-year contracts, or if it's the teams kind of advocating for this, but I think that does help them in the long run if they're willing to sign those contracts, and you also get the chance of signing another contract after that if you're that good. So I think it is beneficial to the top of the market. So Gibbs and Bijan were just no doubters in my mind. You couldn't make the argument for Jonathan Taylor, but he was the engine of that offense last year. He was so good, but the first half of the season, they were clicking. They were arguably the best offense in the NFL because of Jonathan Taylor. Felt like every 10 to 15 touches, he was able to take one to the house. And I just think keeping that guy happy, just give him the 2-year contract. I'm assuming a lot of the guarantees will be pushed up front, so they could get out of this before he hits the age 30 season. And they've decided they want to run it back. That's what they told you when they traded for Sauce Gardner as well, and they re-signed Daniel Jones. This is their plan. They want to see this version of the Colts work, so you have to pay Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion. So the only player-wise, maybe you wouldn't have paid Jonathan Taylor to say maybe he take a step back, but I think all 3 of them deserve the money, and I think it's good for the NFL that they got paid.
I'm here for it, too. Brendan Deeg, he's the NFL news editor over at The Score. Make sure you're checking out his great work about all things National Football League. We appreciate you, my man. Have a great weekend.
You guys are the best. Enjoy your weekend.
Appreciate you. Brendan Deeg joining us via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. When we come back, new addition to the Buckeye defense, James Smith. He joined Bishop and Friends this morning. Really fun interview. There was a key piece, a former Buckeye, that really had a big time impact on why he arrived to Columbus. You'll hear from him on who that was next. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Tri-State Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality. Using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the tri-state area to serve you.
Future therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Out here, you know the drill. Animals are hungry, dogs are getting muddy, and you just noticed you're low on feed. Stocking up at Tractor Supply is easy on your wallet with our unbeatable prices on select shavings, retriever dog food, and Producer's Pride animal and poultry feed. From backyards to barnyards, we've got everything to keep your pets, animals, and livestock well fed and comfortable with low prices all summer. At Tractor Supply.
Attention, Columbus. The new player is officially in the game. Vermeer Heartland is now open at our brand new Columbus location. And that means easier access to the Vermeer equipment you trust, plus genuine Vermeer parts, expert service, and a local team ready to help keep your equipment in the game and your projects moving. We're proud to be a part of the Columbus community and ready to serve you. Vermeer Heartland is now open. Get location information at VermeerHL.com. That's VermeerHL.com. Game on!
Trust isn't built in a day. It's built over years of showing up, doing the right thing, and standing behind every promise. For 34 years, that's exactly what Newman Roofing has done for families across Central Ohio. We know inviting a contractor to your home is a big decision. That's why we believe every homeowner deserves honest, transparent communication and a team that's there to educate you, not pressure you. The goal is simple. Deliver a white glove customer experience that leaves you just as confident in the process as you are in the finished product. That commitment has earned Newman Roofing the honor of being voted City Scene Magazine's Best Roofing Company 5 years in a row. This award represents something more important than just recognition. It represents the trust of our neighbors. So, if you're considering a new roof, siding, or gutters, choose the local company that's spent more than 3 decades putting families first. Newman Roofing. Call 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Cosby Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Now you can watch Rothman and Ice.
Go to YouTube and search 97.1 The Fan.
Rothman is wearing the pancake makeup, so you might as well watch. Back to Rothman and Ice.
Let's get back to it. Welcome back in. Joshua Perry in the house today. Happy Friday to you.
You ever throw on that pancake makeup? You ever have to do like a TV hit and get a little, knock the shine off?
I've never had to do that. I did a few things with our guy Adam King on 10 TV Plus. So I'm in the minor leagues right now when it comes to TV. So I don't know if they would. Is that a required? Like, does everybody have to do it?
But so I get shiny. So that's why.
Because the light, the heat, maybe in the studio. Yeah, the suit on.
Up. So I end up doing it. When we were at Big Ten Network, when I first came in there, we had a makeup artist. Her name was Shakita Eubanks. She is phenomenal. Saw her in Chicago last week when I was there. COVID happens. Everybody's like, how do we save some money? Cut the makeup artist. So then I'm online looking at tutorials of how to make sure that I'm putting this on evenly.
How did that go?
So
how did that go?
I learned. But I was doing my own deal for a little minute.
Okay.
But yeah, knock the shine out.
Yeah.
It's good.
I'm a sweater too, so I have to imagine, like, if I was on set like you are, the heat off the lights, a suit, that's tough.
Got to get it.
Tough, absolutely tough. Yeah. James Smith, new Buckeye to the Buckeye defense. He joined Bishop and Friends, and I was in studio watching on YouTube. Our guy Eric Reeser-Bo did a great job with this interview. Brandon Ennis, I think, did a great job as well. But this guy was very entertaining. We don't know a ton about him, right? New guy comes in. We know he's probably going to be a baller. You come from Alabama. You're a very talented guy, as we all know. But it's always interesting getting to know more about these players, right, and who you guys are. And so he talked about who had an impact on him and why he decided to come to Ohio State. And here's his answer.
Mr. Downs himself.
Yeah.
On the phone, you know how, like, somebody telling you, but I'm knowing him. I know him as, like, I'm with him every day. I was with him every day. So it's like, I knew he wouldn't lead me wrong. Like, I'm knowing, like, you know how somebody tell you something, you can go off their word?
Yep.
It's almost like, I'm not telling you to come up here, James, but if you do, this would be a nice move. So I'm like, okay, Caleb, okay. Because he don't really want me to make the decision because of him. Yeah. But he's like, so I was like, okay.
Hell of an endorsement, right?
I agree.
That's almost as good as it gets, right? If you're Coach Day, to hear that about your program, right? And a guy that, it's not coming from Western Kentucky or Tulane or anything like that. This is another Mount Rushmore program around this sport. And you're getting those type of conversations being had from player to player, and I'm sure a whole bunch of other people around the game.
I think there's a flip side of that too, where we talk about the transfer portal from a coaching standpoint. It's speed dating, getting to know guys. And so if you have a relationship, and I talked to Ryan Day about this, but a relationship with a guy that you recruited in the past that you still feel pretty strong about and you stay connected, you lean into that.
Yeah.
But getting an endorsement from a guy who's been in the locker room, been in meetings, played on the same team. Like, that to me is a cheat code if you can get it that way, where you feel much more comfortable bringing somebody into your program where they've been stamped by Caleb Downs and Caleb not only convincing him, but Caleb being like, no, this guy's a good fit for what we're trying to do here.
And I think we all have that friend or two, family member, whatever it is, that their word does hold a lot of weight. You do trust them because these are huge decisions.
There's a lot of money now too
that involve a lot of coin as well. And so that, I think, was really cool to hear. Fun story about his dad, right? Cleveland guy, but I believe he said both his mom and dad are from the Cleveland area. And so when Pops was in the stands at Alabama, what was he rocking?
Buckeyes, through and through. Buckeyes hat at the Bama game.
Buckeyes hat at the Bama game.
He had a Buckeyes hat at the Bama game.
How'd that go over?
Ain't nobody really gonna say nothing because, like,
I guess.
Yeah, I'm out there, so it's like, okay, that is James' dad, but he's tripping right now.
I love it.
I'm out there.
Like, what are they going to say? Like, I'm balling for you guys. My dad may love Ohio State. Probably has some like for Alabama, but it's different.
My dad supports us, me in particular.
Right.
But he is who he is. Yeah. And I understand that. I understand that.
You come into a new city, JP, what's important? Where are the good food spots around? Where can I get some good grub at? Let's see what James Smith has been enjoying here in Columbus.
Town Hall. I wouldn't lie to you. Town Hall. Their food is great. I'm not going to lie.
And they pay you and us nothing to say that.
Nothing to say that.
What do you get?
I get steak. You get the cookie skillet. With nutrition, they don't need to be. You feel me? That's it. We're gonna keep
get
this
you in
here.
trouble.
Yeah, this confidential. But we just go. Hey, you get that cookie skillet with the steak because really I went like Saturday before camp. I had to go. I went steak. Then I think I went pizza Korean pizza, barbecue pizza.
Oh.
Then I went to Skillet. It's kind of healthy too because they throw a little green on there for me. Man, look. Yeah, I'm trying to, like I was eating the green. I was eating some green. You feel me?
That's farm to table, buddy.
Yeah. And hot head burritos.
That's all right there,
bro. I never knew until I got it. Yep. I'm like, what is this? I said, I'm gonna need him. I'm gonna need him every day.
He's getting to it, man. It's
confidential.
Confidential.
Over the airwaves.
Got a little green on it. Got a little green on him. Get my veggies in.
He's going to run in some fan personalities with the places that he's hanging out at.
Exactly.
Ryan Baker loves hothead burritos.
It's good hilarious stuff. Town Hall. I've been there a few times to eat as well. Yeah. I can confirm they got some good food over there.
Is he running into us?
Maybe. I never been over there. It's good. I get you right. A lot of different options. Like you said, you get pizza, burger, healthier stuff too over there.
But he was eating the cookie skillet.
It felt to me, he was like, this is one of my last big meals before camp. You know what I mean? Like, like the prison meal people always get asked about. Like, it's kind of the vibe I got from him. Like, man, camp's right around the corner. Let me get after it one more time.
He got personality, man. It's fun playing with guys. It reminds me of a guy who I played with that we all know very well. Yeah. And you need those guys, especially during training camp, to lighten things up.
Boss Man came down here during one of the breaks Fish did, and we were talking about the what?
Fish.
We love him.
Yeah,
face that runs the place around here. But I said that to him as well. I said when I was watching James Smith, it's like it reminded me of Tyvus, that infectious energy that you can feel. And we talked earlier about Matt Patricia as a coach and having that every day and how that can maybe help you guys get through the grind. Teammates, too, I'm sure can help with that stuff, right?
Fishy's making a list. He's checking it twice.
He did come in here and tell us that,
He's
by the way.
trying to find out how he can replace all of us.
He loved the James Smith interview so much that he's putting him on his roster of guys that are potentially replace us. It'll be TLC and James Smith.
Got that top drawer of the desk.
The show.
You got the lock on it so we can't break in there. He's got his list.
Bring me your playbook.
That's right. Need that that company laptop and that key card.
Yep, just bring in more guys with really easy names. I got the only difficult name at this station.
Cole Bartemus.
Yeah, we got Hayes, Perry, Baker, Bishop.
We got a Riccardotti.
Yeah, we do got a Riccardotti.
We got a Riccardotti, but we definitely have some very
Hall
down the middle, down the fairway last names here. Some
regular names.
Smith, Powell.
Rothman isn't Bartemus, Rothman, Riccardotti. Those are as common as some of the others.
Rothman you could spell without reading it.
Facts.
So I got to tell you, that's not like a super common name, but you can spell it without reading it.
Sure.
If someone just said Rothman, you can spell that.
Yeah. Nicole's got a bit of you don't hear that often. Sheeran.
King.
Yeah. Dom Taberry.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dom.
Adam having the last name King is also just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, the world doing that to us is insane, really.
His kingdom.
Man.
Yes, right.
That's the name of his feature, JP. Now it's great. It's great.
We shouldn't do, but we do.
Coming up, top of the hour, after an update, ESPN, they laid out the all-time college football supervillains. We're going to lean into that, but also, JP, if there are going to be any current villains in the world of college football, who are they? We'll talk about it next with Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
This week's Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame moment looks at the return of a local legend. On August 15th, 1984, the Reds made a deal with Montreal that would send infielder Tom Lawless to the Expos in exchange for a 43-year-old Cincinnati West Sider by the name of Pete Rose. The announcement of Rose's return as the club's player-manager was supposed to take place the following day, the 16th, but word leaked that afternoon, and general manager Bob Hausum was forced to inform Vern Rapp that he'd been replaced just prior to that evening's 3-2 11-inning victory in St. Louis. After an off day on the 16th, the stage was set for a Friday night contest against the Cubs at Riverfront Stadium. Rose had penciled himself in at first base and second in the batting order. In front of a screaming crowd of 35,038, the familiar number 14 came to the plate in the bottom of the first inning. What happened next was vintage Pete.
Here's a pitch and a line drive, base hit into left center field. Here comes Gary Reedus, and Rose has tied it up. The ball gets by Dernier. Pete is heading toward third. and he's going to be in head first. How about that?
This Hall of Fame moment is brought to you by Western and Southern Financial Group. Life insurance, retirement, and investments.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
They will resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold up.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He'd got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He'd heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
At CEC Turf and Tractor, family means everything. That's why we're proud to welcome Green & Sons Equipment's Mount Sterling and Marysville locations to the CEC family. We're honored to carry on the relationships Green & Sons has built in these communities for generations while expanding our ability to serve you with more parts, more inventory, and faster response times. As one of Ohio's largest Kubota dealers, CEC Turf and Tractor is growing without losing sight of what matters most: hardworking people, trusted relationships, and hometown service. Visit CECTurfandTractor.com today for all your Kubota needs.
Getting a speeding ticket can ruin your day. But what about that cyclist or the pedestrian crossing the street? If you hit them while speeding, you'll do more than just ruin their days. That's why tickets are more than just a fine. They're a second chance, a reminder of what's on the line when you're behind the wheel. You won't get a do-over every time. So take this as your sign to follow the speed limit every drive. Speeding slows you down. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey, Bo Bishop here. From scratch-made dishes to craft cocktails built with their local spirits, High Bank is the perfect place for date night, game day, or getting together with friends. Whether you're sipping the best vodka in America or grabbing a meal, High Bank delivers every time. Learn more at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Football fans, it's almost time to draft your team and kick off yet another season. This year, take your fantasy football draft party to Twin Peaks, where cold drinks, made from scratch food, and wall-to-wall TVs make your local lodge the ultimate draft day headquarters. Round up your league, grab a table, and get ready for the picks, the rivalries, and a full season of bragging rights. Whether you're defending your title or drafting for the first time, start your fantasy season at Twin Peaks. Book your fantasy football draft at your local lodge today.
Whether it's water heater trouble, clogged or leaky pipes, or sub pump worries, Logan Services has you covered. With service calls for just $79. We're fast, friendly, and here to help you with your plumbing projects. Logan Services.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Countdown to kickoff is now 29 days for Ohio State, which closed day 2 of fall camp today. Defensive end Kenyatta Jackson Jr. will bring a large veteran presence on and off the field. So, how different has this offseason been for him being one of the elder statesmen?
I don't really think too much about it. It's just, pretty much just being myself, just lead by example, be a vocal leader on the team. I'm one of the veterans on the defense, like you said, and, just lead by example, do my job the best I can, and, that's pretty much it.
Jackson and the Buckeyes practice tomorrow at 9 a.m. Baseball, Reds look to win 5 straight when they visit the Nationals at 6:45. Guardians are at the White Sox at 7:40. This update is brought to you by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. Tickets, sideline passes, and trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Register today at roosterswings.com.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Orthopedic One, Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com.
Welcome back in hour number 3 of the program today. Joshua Perry, kind enough to give us some of his time. Bottom of the hour. Jensen Lewis joins us. We'll talk Guardians as they get ready for a big series against the White Sox. Reds coming off a nice series. Is this real? Are they going to be able to sustain that? We will unpack all of that with him at 2:30. What's up, JP?
Can I make a clarifying statement?
Do what you got to do.
So
man.
we're talking about Adam's Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I said we shouldn't do that. And I want to clarify. Okay. We should do the segment. I love the segment. Yeah. We shouldn't do the name. Just in case anybody was like, oh, damn, JP, that's cold. No. Like Adam here, like you guys going at him during the segment, rebrand the name.
I'm trying to figure out who has more of a rivalry going on. You and TLC or AK and TLC?
It's AK and TLC.
I think so, too.
We've got like a little...
kind of big bro, little bro.
That's kind of what it is. It's like a sibling rivalry more than anything else.
I think AK and TLC, you guys are like the Lannisters and the Starks. That's a Game of Thrones reference. Yeah. You guys probably don't get that. But that two heated families, you know?
Hatfields and McCoys?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I never really got into that.
Yeah. I think...
Not for me.
Me either.
It is... It's hard to explain because it is kind of like... We understand what the situation is. We're on the air. But, like, sometimes I think Adam thinks that I don't mean what I'm saying, and I'm, like, only hamming it up for the air. And it's like, I am hamming it up for the air, but I'm also meaning what I say.
I think he does bits, too, though.
Right, but it's like, how much of a bit is it if you're, like, being half serious at the same time? It's like half joking. It's like I'm being serious, but in a joking way.
Right.
And so, like, I don't know. For me, it makes sense. It's like I could feel it and be like, all right, like, time to crank. Like, this is our scheduled fight that we have every single week. So, like,
toxic couple,
right?
It's so toxic.
But it's like, but I'm not just like saying nonsense. It's like I'm trying to win the argument, but it's like I know what I'm getting myself into.
I feel like the problem with you two guys, and I say this knowing that this is a little bit of my problem too, is you get so dug in on an opinion, and in the moment you're being proven wrong, but you won't leave where you're at.
I don't think he's proven me wrong on anything.
Well, I have now. That makes sense that you would say that. I think there have been a couple of times where he's had the upper hand and you just won't relent. But I was listening. I can't remember. It was probably a couple of weeks ago. And y'all were going back and forth on something, and everybody was just grilling him. And he kept going further and further and further the other direction, almost to the point where he was like almost on your side, but semantically he couldn't get there.
No, I know exactly what fight this was because like we kept going in circles and circles and circles and he couldn't get it. And I will say in this argument, I'm not going to say who, somebody from the station texted me and said, whenever you and Adam King go together, it's like him bringing a spoon to a knife fight. Okay. Now, the argument was, and again, this is going to be confusing because Adam King was talking himself into circles, but he was making the argument that nobody has adjusted to the college football landscape and how in all of its changes, nobody has made better adjustments to the landscape of college football than Ryan Day.
Okay.
And so then my argument was, well, yes, other people have because Ryan Day isn't the only person who's won national championships.
Sure.
And he's like, no one's done it better than Ryan Day. And I'm like, then why doesn't he win it every year? And he's like, well, that's some Buckeye fans are unreasonable. They can't expect Ryan Day to win it every year. And my point was, well, if other people are winning it every year, then other people are adjusting to the same level as Ryan Day. Now, it is an exclusive class, but it's not a class of one. It's a class of a few. Sure. And he wouldn't give in on that. And so, like, he kept trying to boost Ryan Day.
Right.
But then he was creating expectations that he was then crushing Buckeye fans for having too high of expectations. He kept talking himself in circles, and he couldn't even get it. He was so tangled in his own.
This is what you guys do in particular.
Yeah, he was
two specifically.
He was co-hosting.
I got you.
Because you two specifically will not relent.
But it's so easy against him.
Here you go.
No, because I think he makes
But I'm saying, I say arguments. You do this all the time, regardless of whether he's here or not.
Oh, well, that's a different conversation. I think if I hear a good point, I will acknowledge it.
I've got inside perspective on Cole as well, which is unfair. But like even in the family group chat, they say that you're unrelenting.
He's a heel. He's a heel.
He is.
You know what a heel is, right?
Yeah.
Bad guy in wrestling.
Yep.
He's a heel that will tell you that I don't like conflict, but always is in conflict.
I think you like the art of argument. Like, I don't think you like arguments. I don't think you like the tension that comes from it in practice.
Correct.
But I think you like the art of arguing with people.
It's more so, it's not liking a positive, it's hating a negative. I hate lazy arguments. And when I hear lazy arguments, it's like, all right, now you're dragging me into something I don't want to be dragged into.
I feel like you're doing it right now,
because I'm a non-conference. No, I
think you're doing it.
I'm just okay.
That your standard is just so high.
It's a kind of argument.
No, I'm a non-confrontational person, and so it's like I
think we got to retire that line. I don't think you can say that anymore.
We were just talking before the show about how like AR sending us pictures of him and like Andre Johnson and Edgerrin James and Cam together, and you and I are talking about how like we wouldn't go up to them and do that.
That's not confrontation.
That's confrontation.
No. That's not confrontation. I don't think that qualifies as confrontation. Approaching somebody for a picture, I don't think it's confrontation. I agree with JP. I think you enjoy some of that energy where you can get a little spicy with people.
Spice of life.
I think you like that.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
But it's got to be someone I'm comfortable with. It can't be definitely not a stranger.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Like it's got to be someone who like I kind of know the lay of the land. Like I'm somebody like you're not going to catch me fighting at a bar because I'm the type of guy where I'm like I don't know who is capable of what.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm not getting in road rage incidents. Like
good.
So
Smart.
it's like me versus strangers is not happening.
But you
me
versus people I know happens every day.
Huh.
And I'm glad that you brought that to there with it. It's not just us.
Yeah.
It's the fam. It's the bloodline. Anybody can get it.
Yep.
Anybody can get it according to TLC. So he might be a villain in the eyes of some. According to ESPN, he didn't like that.
No, he really did.
He didn't like that. I think you're a heel.
A great radio transition. Go for it.
You're a heel. You're definitely not a baby face, though. You got to admit that. In the world of wrestling, you would not be a good guy.
No.
Yeah, see?
Okay. He's kind of mad he had to admit it, though. He was thinking of a way to argue. He was trying to argue his way out of that one.
I'll turn against my own fan bases if I hear stuff that I don't like. Dude, I'm serious. All right. Pittsburgh radio, we're doing segments on what does Kenny Pickett need to do to become a top 10 quarterback in the NFL heading into year 2.
There's nothing he can do.
Do you know how year 2 ended? He was cut from the team.
Nothing he could do.
He was traded for like a 6th or a 7th round pick or something like that. So if I hear nonsense that doesn't make any sense, even if it's people trying to overly support my own team.
Sense police.
I gotta.
That's what he is.
You're the sense police.
I'm a middle ground guy. You know what? I'm serious. I thought Jimmy Garoppolo was like very overrated for a long time because he went like 5-0 in like the final 5 weeks in San Francisco.
Sure.
And then he became really overhated, and I'm like, all right, now you guys are hating him too much.
So I'm friends with a guy who used to produce a show I worked on who is very much like you, where he sees himself as the moderate guy. But what I think happens is he just goes from pole to pole based on where everybody else is at. So in this situation where he feels like somebody's getting too much hype, he will automatically be the biggest hater until other people start hating. Then he's the president of the fan club.
Is that in your bag right there?
It's in my bag.
It is.
I didn't like.
So you like this type of conflict. You like to be a contrarian in certain situations. You do.
It's just in me, man. I didn't like the way that you said that. He considers himself a moderate
right,
guy.
because you do, and I'm explaining to you how it's not. It's really not.
This is a situation, the saying that you people don't like hearing about themselves. Yeah. That's a little bit of what's going on right now.
This is
TLC.
good,
but it's good. We're embrace it.
It is interesting. I have thought that before of like, I'm just programmed to disagree with people. And I don't like, I don't know why.
Here's the thing. I have some of that in me too. But at least I just wear it.
Because I'm a middle ground guy.
See, I'm not. I know I'm not.
I need that drop from you, by the way. I'm just programmed to disagree with people. That needs to be a drop that we have all the time on the show because it's just perfect.
It is. It really
but
is.
as it pertains to Adam King, I actually think he walks himself into really silly points. that are really easy to punch holes.
It's very narrow. His scope is very narrow on the point.
It's pom-poms that are, the pom-poms in the left hand are scarlet and the pom-poms in the right hand are gray.
He does good work, though.
Yeah.
AK does good work.
He does.
He does good work.
It's a hell of a Friday segment right here, by the way.
I don't know how we got here, honestly.
I don't know, and I don't care.
Since police, folks.
1:30 on Monday. Here's your horizontal tease. On 1:30 on Monday, Adam King will be here.
There we go.
And
Looking
if you
forward to
don't
that.
know what I'm talking about, you'll be able to hear it loud and clear when he declares Ohio State to be the greatest training camp team of all time.
We got to take a break. We got pre-snap reads coming up next. Running backs getting big bags this week. Jahmyr Gibbs was one of those. His head coach, Dan Campbell, talks about that and how Gibbs has evolved this offseason. You'll hear it after the momentary break. Rothman Ice right here on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you. The Meatloaf! The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you're looking for windows and you want to get a good deal and you want to get windows that'll be put in by installers who will get the job done in a day, and you want windows with a lifetime transferable warranty, there's only one place to go. Window Nation. This month, you can get 50% off all window styles from Window Nation, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 2 years. Visit windownation.com to get the windows featured on HGTV's Designing Spaces. Window Nation is the real deal. Go to windownation.com today.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
With rates lower than the national average, plus special rates on balance transfers, a BMI Federal Credit Union Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card would be the perfect card for your wallet. Visit bmifcu.org/visa for more details and to apply today.
How many of you have had your garage floor done? I'll wait for the answer. Yeah, that's enough. How many of you think it looks like crap? That's because it is crap. One quick call to Comer & Cross Concrete Floor Coatings at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, and they can install a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor in 1 day. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It's like pulling into a new car showroom every night. And here's the best part. It is guaranteed your garage floor will never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And listen, you lazy bum, they'll even take the stuff out of the garage for you. They're all certified uniform pros. No subcontractors at Comer & Cross. This is a premier product with premier results, and they hired a premier endorser to tell you about it. For your quick and easy Comer & Cross garage floor quote, call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR now. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to comercross.com, COMER cross.com.
Save big on auto accessories at Menards. We have what you need to keep your vehicle looking like new. Give your car the care it needs with Max Power Car Wash from Turtle Wax. The more you use, the stronger the cleaning power becomes, allowing you to effectively remove dirt, grime, and more. Save big on Turtle Wax products. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
What defines Ohio? A place that dares to go first and never looks back. There's no slowing us down. At Jobs Ohio, our mission is clear. Strengthen job opportunities and empower Ohio's workforce. Another reason why Ohio is now ranked the #1 state for business by CNBC. This is what unstoppable feels like. We did it together, Ohio. Our time is now. See Ohio's momentum at jobsohio.com/Ohio's time.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app, available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app. Free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Happy Friday. Highs today right around the mid-80s. Feeling a little bit warmer, though, with the combination of all that humidity out there. It's a little muggy as you step out the door. Friday afternoon into the evening hours, isolated showers and storms return back into our forecast. And that's going to get you through the rest of your Friday. I'm your 10 Weather Impact meteorologist, Lily Aldrich, with 97.1 The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, welcome back in. JP, the running backs getting the bag this week. Big week.
Here for it.
For star running backs, Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs was last of the three, but my goodness, he is absolutely living a good financial life now because he and the Lions reached an agreement on a 3-year, $67.5 million deal that could get up to $75 million. 51 of that is guaranteed. You said you're here for it. I am as well. Especially when you look at these three guys in their specific situations. These guys, man, and especially Jonathan Taylor. He's kind of the straw that stirs the drink because they have some uncertainty at the quarterback position. But I think all these deals, these guys will absolutely have their front office feeling good about them, I think, in the next few years.
I tend to agree. And I was doing shows this offseason and was just kind of talking about the state of football.
Yeah.
And it was one of the things that I mentioned, that the running back is starting to reemerge as a premium position where for a long time people were like, you can't take him in the first round, which I always thought was dumb because you're getting them as young as you're going to get them. They're still comparatively cheaper than veterans anyway. So they're doing that whole thing, and it's a passing league. And then it started to boomerang back. Mm-hmm. And we saw people learn. Defensive personnel got a little bit lighter. Yeah. They had a bunch of guys who rush the passer but can't really stop the run. Guys can't tackle.
Right.
Why not just run it at them? And so I'm glad to see the shift back to big boy football, but these guys all deserve the payday that they're getting.
So the vibes are good up there in Detroit right now. How could they not be? Dan Campbell joined the NFL Network to talk about the new deal and what Gibbs has been working on in the lab this all season.
Coach, how happy are you to answer a question about Jahmyr Gibbs actually going to be able to practice now?
Well, I'm excited about that, to be able to get him out here and get him going. I've said all along, Brad and I love this kid, and he's one of us, and he fits what we do perfectly. Of course, who does he not fit? This guy's something else. So it's good to have him back.
Yeah, highest paid running back in the NFL. What makes him so good for you?
He does everything. He's tough. He'll protect. He's smart. He's versatile. He's got vision as a runner. He's got patience. He's obviously got long speed, so he breaks out in the open. He can take the distance. And man, this kid's got a route tree now, too. You can line him up at receiver, and we just started to teeter into that. There's a ton of meat on the bone for this guy.
You know what I heard right there?
Coach.
Coach.
His name is Dan.
That is.
So are you a don't call him coach
he's that guy too?
I wasn't trying to get into that.
He's that guy too. He's
a different segment. I'm not gonna get into this right now.
Okay. Yeah, we're not gonna do it.
No, we
do it off the air later.
I was trying to do a brief joke. I wasn't trying to just derail this.
We'll do it off the air later. But what I just heard from Dan Campbell is Jahmyr Gibbs is never coming off the field.
Oh, yeah.
Protect, catch the ball, run. Like he's got everything. 3 straight years of at least 50 receptions from Gibbs since he came into the league. Man, I think this is going to be one of the biggest running back seasons we've seen in a while, just because you remove Montgomery from the mix. You bring in Isaiah Pacheco. We'll see what he's got. I think Gibbs is in store for a huge year, JP.
I think Isaiah Pacheco would be a fun toy for them, but for sure Gibbs is going to be getting a ton of carries. And I love what he said. Like, the part of the reason of the resurgence of the running back is guys are really protecting the passer, right? So, like, you trust them in pass pro. Love that. They are running between the tackles and they're running to the outside. they're also catching the football with consistency. You can have them in any concept that you would want them in and feel like your offense isn't taking a step back. And he's always been special that way, but 100% he's going to be earning that big check that he's getting now.
The other thing that I like specifically when it comes to Bijan and Jameer is they can score from anywhere, doing it in different ways. To your point about the bag that they have. JT, Jonathan Taylor, he does have decent long speed.
He does.
For a bigger back, but the pass catching stuff I don't think is
not
as high
the same
as Bijan.
level. You wouldn't say he has the same versatility.
He's more of that traditional, if you will, type of running back. In our previous segment, we were going to get into some college football villains just because ESPN ripped off an all-time list of who they believe are the biggest villains in the sport. And I'll start at 10 and just go all the way down to 1. So coming in at 10, it's Caleb Williams. 9 is Deion Sanders. 8 is Tim Tebow. 7 is ESPN. It's interesting. 6 is Notre Dame. 5, the 1990 Miami Hurricanes. You've got the Brian Bosworth at 4. 3 is Johnny Manziel. Lane Kiffin comes in at 2. And then the old ball coach, Steve Spurrier, at 1. I don't know about that one. The biggest villain in the history of the sport?
I feel like
Steve Spurrier?
This list is a 6-pack of ass. I don't think it's a great list.
Some of the names that are on here for sure. Belong there. Kiffin, no doubt. Kiffin to me is the guy that I think is in line for maybe being the current villain of the sport.
I would say it's between him and Cody Campbell.
Ooh,
oh, you're not a Cody Campbell guy
at all. We've had offline conversations. I'm not. But Lane Kiffin certainly is like the whole will he, won't he thing. Had my guy Marty Smith camping out. Like that was insane.
So you brought up Cody Campbell.
Yeah.
The first 2 names that I had in my dome were Lane and Cignetti. I think Cignetti has a chance to be that guy.
The only reason why I refuse to put him on a villain list is like Indiana. No shade as I say this, but it's like, can they ever give you villain vibes?
I think it's some of the things that he could say. Like if he continues some of those
should continue
things.
to do it.
I said the other day, this man came in and said,
villain if you're telling the truth though? Like, I mean,
I think you could be.
I don't know.
I think you could. I'm just saying, I think he has a chance to be that guy, I think.
I don't know.
It would have been Sorsby this year, right? Like if he was playing,
he would have been.
He was allowed to play, it probably would have been
like
him.
Johnny Manziel. I feel like at the time, I never saw him as a villain. Maybe the further we've gotten away, it's like, it's a little villainous, but number 3 on this list is insane to me.
Here's what I think when it comes to Johnny Manziel. I think it depends on what age you were when he was at the peak of his powers. I could understand how maybe some of the unks out here looked at the way that he was going about his business, how flashy he was, and all of that stuff, and they didn't like that. I remember when I was growing up, like as a teen, like watching this guy. This dude was as cool as hell.
Yeah.
Like there was like hanging out with all these celebrities, winning the Heisman, all these highlight plays with Mike Evans. So I think it hits different for what age you were in when he was balling.
The unks kill me with the it's too flashy. And I got a little bit of unk in me. I think some of these guys take it too far, but like, so do you just want to watch people not have fun? Is that your whole endeavor for consuming football is literally to just watch guys break the huddle, run out to the ball, do their thing, and then walk back and nothing else fun happens?
I don't want to live in that world.
That's weird.
I don't want to live in that world. And that's why I always say certain athletes that are polarizing, I enjoy those guys, coaches as well, because they add a little bit of seasoning to this thing. Because
that's why I like Prime.
And he is a villain in a lot of minds because people don't like his approach. I like it.
I will never consider somebody to be a villain for saying what's true, as long as it's not like a pure disparagement of other people.
Correct.
Right. But if you're saying I'm the guy, and then you go out there and you're the guy, you're out here is one of the best defenders that we could see. Mm-hmm. You're also contributing on offense, and by the way, you're playing in baseball games. I think you've earned the right to wear all of the chains. You've earned the right to have all of the sweatsuits, the limousine. all of the things. And to say that you're him, you've earned that right to me.
But what about that Jerry curl?
The Jerry curl was cool. That,
back
for
then,
the time.
Rocked it well.
And now he probably stained up a couple of those sweatsuits, but that's neither here nor there.
Tim Tebow at 8. That's got to be solely rooted in just success and 100%. How much he had. Because, Tebow wasn't disrespecting anybody or anything like that.
He was like the complete opposite of that.
Yeah.
And now he's trying to hunt down traffickers and stuff. Like, this dude has committed his life to being a good guy.
Yep.
The only reason he's a villain is because he was so good and so nice. I think people hated the fact that he was so nice.
There's one name that is missing from this list that I think a lot of people here would put on the list.
Harbaugh.
Connor Stallions.
Oh, yeah. Well, for sure. I think that's
Was he a big villain, or was he our villain?
No, I think a lot of people would have an issue with the integrity of the game being compromised.
Do you think an LSU fan gives a damn about Connor Stallions?
Well, I mean, you could do that for literally anybody on the list. Like, you could say
that's my point. I think this is a bad list. This is kind of my point. So I agree with that.
Steve Spurrier would only be a villain to SEC fans.
I'm not going to disagree.
Guys from the, Oregon fans, I don't think would care.
You want to know why I'm actually cool with Spurrier being at 1. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because of all the coaches who think they can wear visors because he wore a visor. It is the I think I'm a genius move.
You're out on the visor look, huh?
Too many visor guys. I don't think everybody's earned the right, but anybody who idolized Spurrier wants to wear a visor.
Honorable mention on this list, TLC, is Connor Stallions.
Okay,
He does pop up there. It's Baker Mayfield, Diago Pavia, Vontez Burfict. Haven't heard that name in a while. The NCAA, Hugh Freeze, Phil Fulmer, Ryan Leaf, Jameis Winston, and Maurice Claret.
The honorable mention list might just be the list.
Yeah.
This is crazy. The NCAA honorable mention.
Do you think they felt edgy putting themselves at number 6?
Probably. Oh, this is cool. This will get them going.
Number 6, ESPN.
That's a bad list, guys.
Go check it out at ESPN.com.
Or don't.
If you're interested.
Or don't.
Or like JP said, maybe you don't need to. Coming up in 2 minutes, Jensen Lewis, he's going to stop by, get you ready for Guardians and White Sox. Reds got a fun series with Washington coming off a good series against the Athletics. A lot to unpack in the world of baseball. We will do it in 2 minutes. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
CEC Turf and Tractor is growing. We're proud to welcome Green & Sons Equipment's Mount Sterling and Marysville locations. Same hometown service you trust, now with the strength of one of Ohio's largest Kubota dealers. Visit CECTurfandTractor.com today.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Whether you're craving a Big Mac, McNuggets, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, make it a meal and save. Your favorite is now your wallet's favorite too. Extra value meals are back.
Enjoy a $5 sausage McMuffin with egg extra value meal, complete with hash browns and a small coffee. Most stores open 5 a.m. or earlier. Price and participation may vary. Promotion pricing may be lower than meal pricing.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doop doop, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh, yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Out here, you know the drill. Animals are hungry, dogs are getting muddy, and you just noticed you're low on feed. Stocking up at Tractor Supply is easy on your wallet with our unbeatable prices on select shavings, retriever dog food, and Producer's Pride animal and poultry feed. From backyards to barnyards, we've got everything to keep your pets, animals, and livestock well fed and comfortable with low prices all summer. At Tractor Supply.
Newman Roofing is proud to sponsor the Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat fan drive. Help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. Purchase new box fans and take them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station or buy online. For more information, visit 10tv.com/beattheheat or lifecarealliance.org.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Crowd the plate at your own risk. It's time for some chin music with former big leaguer and president of the Bald is Beautiful fan club, Jensen Lewis.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the heat? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on Train air conditioners.
All right, welcome back into Rothman Ice. We do it every Friday at this time. It's time to talk all things Major League Baseball with the guy that knows it the best. He's Jensen Lewis. J. Lou, welcome back in, man. How you feeling this week?
Good, brother. We're on the stretch run, and we're getting into the sprint, baby. A lot of meaningful baseball, a lot of scoreboard watching week in and week out.
Speaking of scoreboard watching, let's start with the Cleveland Guardians because a fun series this weekend against the Chicago White Sox. So the AL Central is definitely interesting. Parker Messick's on the mound tonight, so that's always a good time. But, J-Lo, I want to get your thoughts on what they did at the deadline. I was impressed with the amount of moves that they made, but more importantly, the guys that they got back. I think in time, in the coming weeks and months, these guys are going to help them out.
Well, I mean, you had to go from somewhere. They were on the bottom offensively, so adding any healthy and competent bodies was going to help, considering what they've had for the majority of the season. So let's take it one step at a time here. Joe Adell absolutely crushes lefties. Has had his fair share of troubles against righties. Good matchup for him tonight against the lefty and Noah Schultz. Nathaniel Lowe already with a big blast, a 3-run homer to bring him within one against the Mets. Unfortunately, bullpen couldn't hold it. So some early contributions there. And then how about the young kid in Angel Hinao with the amazing rookie debut, had 4 hits there, could have had 5. And then on the flip side, it's not the best from Foster Griffin, but you get an all-star. Rarely do you see it, Matty, where you acquire an all-star at the deadline. And I think Foster Griffin, better days ahead, just one of those starts where it just did not go his way. So did they do enough? We'll see, but you're right. This is that stretch, and a road trip, not only in Chicago, but then going to Detroit, the way the Tigers have played as of late, then come back home against the Padres. You're going to need all kinds of offense, especially with the arms they're going to face the next 3 series.
There's no doubt. So White Sox right now, top of the AL Central. Twins and the Guardians, 3 back right now. Let's dig in a little bit more, J. Lou, in this Guardians-White Sox series that we're going to watch this weekend. What are some specific things you're looking forward to watching between these two clubs?
Yeah, and let's start with the White Sox side. And again, you're going to kind of avoid some of their better starting pitching, and particularly not having to face Sean Burke, who has been running pretty hot for them the last couple of weeks. They will get Davis Martin, and he has been trending downward here the last couple of times out. So maybe they'll catch him at the right time. What you like, you get Parker Messick, who has been nearly automatic, 3 career starts, a sub-2 ERA against the White Sox in his short tenure, so that's a great opening matchup. Gavin Williams, who has just lit the world on fire with the swing and miss, you get him on Saturday. And then Joey Cantillo, probably looking for a little bounce-back spot. He will oppose Davis Martin there in the series finale, so that's a good matchup there. Obviously, when it comes to the White Sox, you got to limit the big boys in the middle with Murakami and Vargas. And to be fair, Matty, I think this Guardian staff may be catching the White Sox at the right time, because offensively, really everyone except Chase Mydroth has been struggling. So that might be the elixir for them after getting swept by the Mets and going 1-5 on this past homestand.
Speaking of sweeping, the Cincinnati Reds got that thing done against the Athletics over the last couple of days. So now here they are, J. Lou, on August 7th, 4 games back from the last wild card spot. Are you buying any of this at all as far as this is going to be sustainable? Not obviously sweeping everybody, but do you think the Reds have the goods to maybe hop around series from series and maybe win a few of these in the coming weeks?
AR not here to defend himself face-to-face against you when reports of the Reds' demise maybe have been greatly exaggerated. Here's the Terry Francona factor, right? You hate the news about Hunter Green. It's a big loss no matter what, because it's not only the presence on the field, but it's the morale hit there in the clubhouse. That being said, you're 2 games under 500. You're 4 back. You're still minus 60 in the run differential, but you don't care right now because it's trending right? 4 games in a row you've won, 7 of your last 10. And, Matty, you got everything still in front of you. Now a Washington national team without James Wood, without Luis Garcia Jr. Yes, C.J. Abrams has still been great, but if you're going to catch the Nats, who have been one of the more prolific offenses in baseball this year, at the right time, this might be it. And you've got your guys lined up, especially with Chase Burns, slated to go on Saturday. Tough customer in Cade Cavalli tonight, though, in the nation's capital. He's been really, really good for them. But this is a very winnable series. And then you head to the south side to take on the White Sox. White Sox getting all flavors of Ohio, north and south in the state here the next 7 days. But the schedule kind of lays out a little bit better for the Reds here. If you can win this series to start the road trip and then hold serve on the south side against the White Sox, you come back home against a Marlins team that is leaking some oil right now. It's all there for the taking. I did not think we were going to talk, Matty, at this point after the deadline and look at this team with everything they've struggled with offensively, with the injuries they've had to deal with in the rotation. They're still alive, man. Yeah. They're still kicking, and one good week or two, they're right in the thick of this thing.
No question. There's no doubt about it. We're talking all things Major League Baseball with our guy, Jensen Lewis, right here on Rothman and Ice. All right, I got this one for you. J. Lou's favorite trade deadline move that doesn't involve the Reds, Guardians, or Scooble going to the Dodgers is what?
Okay, so San Diego really jumped out to me with getting the two big starters, right? I know Casey Mize didn't have the debut that he wanted to with them, but 11 days off, I'll chalk that up to just severely out of routine and not on normal rest. Robbie Ray is going to be great for them, and the bats are trending in the right direction. Those are moves, Matty, being in a clubhouse where you see that come down and you're like, oh, hell yeah. Okay, now let's go. And it's finally the Padre offense hitting the way that maybe they anticipated early in the year. I mean, this offense was dreadful. But if this is the kind of offense they're going to get with that rotation reinforcement and arguably the best bullpen, or at least the best back duo in Adrian Morejon and Mason Miller, San Diego's a handful. So I really, really like that. I think the Luis Arraez addition to Philadelphia, we talked with Don Mattingly yesterday on Elmi Network Radio, and he even admitted Arraez has already brought that kind of energy, that spark that they've needed. It's a laid-back group, but he's shaking some things up. I think that one may be as pivotal a move for that group, just trying to get more energy out of them.
So I was watching the Cubs-Dodgers series just the other day, and it was the first time that I've watched the Dodgers play anybody, and I thought, Shohei Ohtani's not the best player on the field.
Yeah.
It was PCA. Yeah. Watching him for 3 straight days, watching him just roam the outfield and do what he does at the plate. If Shohei doesn't pitch the rest of the year, J. Lewis, is it PCA's MVP to lose?
I said it a month ago. I'll reiterate it to you. That was verbatim kind of where I went, Matty, is if Pete Crow Armstrong continues this assault and it can find his way to a 35 homer or more, 35 or more stolen base year. I mean, right now, for those wins above replacement disciples, Pete Crow Armstrong, number one in offensive wins above replacement, or at least, looking at where you are just on the position player side at 7.8. Next closest, it's the guy that's leading the Triple Crown or right in the thick of it with Yordan Alvarez in the American League side. He's at 5.7. So, Matty, you do the math. I mean, that's 2.1 wins above replacement. Pete Crow Armstrong is ahead of Yordan Alvarez, and Yordan Alvarez is like a $15 favorite to win the American League MVP. So I think two things can be true at the same time. You cannot discount what Ohtani's dominance was on the mound in the first half. And we were talking about him potentially in the National League Cy Young race. So if he doesn't pitch again, I think it's Pete Crow Armstrong's to lose.
Okay. Last one for you, Jay Lou, and we'll get you out of here. Best story in baseball right now, the Boston Red Sox and how they just continue to roll and roll and roll. How are they getting this done, man?
Brother, 31-5 in their last 36 games. They were 40-1 to win the American League on July 1st. They were 17-1 during the All-Star break. Remember, that was in the midst of that big, long winning streak they had. We wake up today, they're 5-1. They're the third betting choice to win the American League. Like, this is surreal because usually you'll have kind of a run and then, a little regression. It's not happening. Last night, first team, I think, in Major League history to score in 5 innings, or at least 5 or more innings from the 9th inning on. Like, there is no quit. They're ridiculous at home right now. And the back end of that bullpen doesn't get enough credit with what Whitlock and Chapman have done. They go really deep there. I'm certainly not getting in front of them right now. That is just an absolute freight train. that has left the station, and you are in harm's way when they come to town.
All right, I lied. I got one more for you, and this is college football related because you're a Vandy boy. You went to Vanderbilt. Where are you now with expectations for the football program after what you've been seeing the last couple of years?
Well, listen, if it's Jared Curtis, the phenom that of course they flipped from Georgia, it looks like he's going to be the quarterback of the future. You lose so much on both sides of the ball, Maddie, and watching SEC football, yes, it might mean more, but it's going to be more of a mountain to climb because they just don't have the weaponry, I think, on offense this year. You lose Stowers, who was so great as a tight end for Diego Pavia. I think defensively, Clark Lee will get it figured out. Their schedule's pretty daunting, though. If they can get close to 500, I think that's successful, but I think we're seeing some regret. Hey, at least they got the stadium done. Great place to watch a football game now. It just might be a little bit more arduous here in 2026.
Looks like a great environment on TV. There's no doubt. J. Lou, we appreciate your time as always, man, and we will talk to you next week. Have a great weekend.
You got it. You too. Thanks, Maddie.
See you, man. Our guy Jensen Lewis joined us via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We will hit the finish line of the show and week next with Tell the Truth. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Everything you need to know about the Buckeyes is on, wait for it, The Buckeye Show, led by the Beamer.
I'm not going to lie to you. Getting ready now for Jeremiah Smith, you're already too late.
And featuring Austin Ward.
The reason that the weather was perfect for Texas at Ohio State is because it was played in the San Diego of the Midwest.
It's the Buckeye Show, weeknights at 6. And tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 The Fan, your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
The next chapter of Cleveland Browns football is here, and we want to invite you to be the first in. It's a new world-class stadium. It's a new era of Browns football, and it begins in 2029. And your path to being a part of it starts today. Place your deposit now at newhuntingtonbankfield.com to reserve your spot and be one of the first to choose your seats in our brand new state-of-the-art enclosed stadium where Cleveland Browns football goes to the next level.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. But the real reason is we won a lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
At most financial institutions, they look at you like you're just an account number. Anthony Rothman here for Tell Ohio Credit Union, where you are a member. That's the difference and the power of belonging. Bank where you are the bottom line. Join now at tellohio.org.
Football season starts at Twin Peaks. Get your league together and host your fantasy football draft party at your local lodge. Commissioners get a $50 Twin Peaks gift card, cold drinks, made from scratch food, wall-to-wall TVs, and everything you need for draft day. Book your fantasy football party at Twin Peaks.
Jerry, I've made a decision.
Aaron, are you giving away free services again?
Well, yeah. How did you know?
I haven't been able to quit thinking about your AC piggy bank.
Get Eco.
ECO. We work to extend the life of their old air conditioner and then give back all the money we were paid to do it.
Up to $1,500.
When they need to buy a new system.
Jerry, I'm getting ready to do something like that again.
Get Eco.
ECO.
When we replace a water heater, I'm instructing all the Eco plumbers to give our customers up to $500 in free repairs before they leave the house.
$500 in free services that same day?
There's lots and lots and lots of things our plumbers can do for $500 or less.
And Eco is going to do these things for free when people buy a water heater?
Yeah, whatever they want for free.
That same day?
Same day.
Get Eco.
ECO. Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Go to geteco.com.
Your favorite fan shows are available as a podcast. What a concept. And don't miss exclusive podcast content like Austin and Byrne. Listen on your schedule from anywhere in the world. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by McDaniel GM Superstore. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, TLC, take us to the crib, brother. What do you got cooked up in truth today?
All right, so I feel like just in society, every single career has people where they elevate to a certain level and everyone else is just looking around like, how is this person this successful?
The Peter principle.
Is that what it's called?
You elevate to a point of incompetence.
Oh, yeah. Knew it but forgot it. But I feel like that also applies in sports, even though you would think not, because everybody says sports is the ultimate meritocracy, so your abilities take you to a certain level. But I feel like there can be dumb people who ascend to great success, even in sports. I got to imagine that still exists there. And what made me think of this is that Jim Harbaugh was on The Herd yesterday. And I will play Colin Cowherd's question, and then we will play Jim Harbaugh's answer. It's not a great question, but we'll start here.
Jesse Minter was the hot coach. He was the hot coordinator in the cycle. You lose him. He's a friend. He's been great to you. You love him. You lose him. Now Chris O'Leary comes in, another super sharp guy. But how much? You're an offensive guy. You're a quarterback. That's the other side of the ball. How much of Jesse's stuff do you ever say to, hey, Chris, don't screw around too much. We're really good on that side. I don't want too many changes. Like, how many changes can you make to a great defense?
I don't know. Don't love the question, but whatever. But here's Jim Harbaugh attempting to respond to that.
You always. I mean, it's. I think these defenses, these systems, they're always evolving because they have to. And you know, there was evolvement. Is that a word?
Evolution.
Is it a word, Colin?
In evolvement. Well, I like evolve, yeah. Evolving.
Evolving, yeah. Same with Mike. There was Mike McDonald and Jesse. You know, and it'll be the same with Chris. So we we're in that. I think a lot of the good ways that we saw, you know, as an organization that, you know, would be with whether Jesse being here, now he's not, but like the same kind of direction that we wanted to go with this defense and with this personnel. You know, that's the direction we're headed with Chris.
Calling 2007 Miss South Carolina.
That was rough. That was clunky. I've got to say the least, a couple thoughts on this. Floor is yours, sir. I don't think Jim Harbaugh loves talking to the media. I think you got to get him on the right day.
Understood.
So I just, from a media training standpoint, I think you get a lot of these kinds of answers because it's not something he likes to do. However, I do think he was into it during this interview. You can tell by his energy. We got to remember the era he played in, and we got to remember the kind of player that he was. And we got to think about where he's at in his age now.
CTE?
I'm not saying CTE. But the man definitely had some concussions probably that he played through. And so when you get into these philosophical questions that you have to answer, you got to dig a little bit deep. He's probably reaching, and there's not a lot that he's reaching for sometimes. It's fair. That's fair.
He still somehow was able to become a head football coach.
He's a good ball coach. Really good, I think. Yeah.
Don't you have to be a little bit more than surface level to achieve that
I don't think
status?
he's calling plays.
Well, then what is he, a motivator?
Yes. I think he's
then you got to be
motivating. I think he's hired well. Obviously, is hired well.
Then you got to be deep and philosophical, unless you're Sirianni, just pulling from ChatGPT.
Time when you're doing some of that stuff. My whole deal here is, I think there are those moments now that are revealing themselves a little bit more where he's word finding and he's struggling to find the word.
I think he is a motivator. You see him, he always kind of banging on the pads of his quarterback and all that. He's a big rah guy, which I have to imagine maybe can wear on players.
I think it's probably why he is never necessarily in the same place for entirely too long.
We heard some of that with Pete Carroll at the end, right? All of that stuff can wear you down maybe sometimes as well. And so actually, you mentioned the hires that he's made in the past. I think he made another good one this year. Yeah. I think Mike McDaniel's going to be a really good fit over there. We know he's a personality, man. He's an oddball for sure. But, yeah, even just the back and forth from, like, the question, just the whole thing was just stop and go. It was weird.
My favorite is when he's in the middle of giving the answer and he's looking for the thing to say, but he just stops in real time and his mouth is just agape. He's just mouth breathing while he's finding the thing.
Agape?
Agape.
Qualifies.
Does it?
Yeah, it qualifies.
By the way,
it's a good word, though. Good one.
J-Lou. Arduous?
Fire it.
Arduous is good.
That's that Vanderbilt education right there. Arduous.
I just don't understand how you can be a highly successful football coach in the college ranks and then make your way back up to the NFL ranks. And one of your biggest weaknesses is thinking on your feet.
You think Bobby Bowden was as sharp in the later days as he was in the early days?
Probably not.
Okay. He still had some good seasons, right?
I guess.
All right.
Are you leaning into an opinion that you think maybe the coaching is going to fall off a little bit here? Is that where you're?
Or are you saying that you think he's as sharp as he's ever been, but he's just a fool?
I guess what I'm saying, Bobby Bowden's a little bit different because he was at Florida State for a long time. Sure. Basically, what I'm saying is, I don't know how Jim Harbaugh is like interviewing and not like talking like that in job interviews. I understand that the interview process for him is, hey, here's my resume.
Through a regular interview process?
How could you talk to that guy and just be like,
you think they had him up on the grease board and they were peppering him with situations, or did they just say, oh, you were really good the last time you were in the league and you just won a title, come coach for us?
Other teams turned him down. Minnesota did.
I think the personality is what you would turn down, but you're not turning down that resume.
Right, but that's my point, is like when he walks into and like, I don't know, and maybe he's just quirky. Maybe CTE has nothing to do with this. I don't know. I don't really care what the reason is.
I'm not saying CTE, I'm saying that ball players, they start to maybe decline a little bit sooner than non-ball players.
Understood.
I think it could be what you said earlier, JP, that no matter what you do, you can be in the world of talking in front of cameras. There's certain settings I think that can make you feel a little weird or uncomfortable.
The other part of this is I think he's just bad at the media part of it. I mean,
I also concede it wasn't a very good question.
Not all of us can be TLC.
Not all of us can be as eloquent as
this man. On his feet
all the time.
Best I've ever seen.
Who was our guy for UCLA that had the horrible press conference right out of the game? That's another example.
Dude, I talked to him right before he went up on the podium. He was as regular as ever, and then he gets up there, stage fright.
Stage fright, and I think some people have that.
Stage fright exists.
He knows ball. With the best of
in many contexts.
But in that situation, it's just not something
that's bad
you're used to doing. Let's tell the truth for today.
He's got a one-track mind that can only speak football.
JP, appreciate you coming in. TLC, great job on the board this week.
Thanks.
Coming up next, Common Man and Timmy, they're going to take you to 6 o'clock. It is Go to Jail Friday, and JP and I are going to task them with making a list of 3 foods that they can only eat for the rest of their lives. Only 3 things. They'll have that for you. Take you to 6 o'clock. Have a great weekend. We love you. Stay safe. We will talk to you on Monday. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
And I am looking at a half-empty bottle of Cavatier, which means that we are just about out of time.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate.